I appreciate that the two brothers are British and Australian.
The first time I ever heard Ryan Quanten talk, I was like, what the fuck? Because, seriously, he does a pretty good Louisiana accent.
Yeah.
And
An accent.
Does he?
Yeah, he does an accent. A bit of an accent.
And he's not from New Zealand.
What's the difference?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
You've just unleashed the hounds on us.
Oh, my.
Kiwi at me, bro. Pop out the chat. That was a good freeze. We are having fun here.
Yeah. Oh, I should compose a tweet.
You should.
Eh.
And somebody should put it in on the thing and the other thing.
Wait, are we online?
We are on the line.
We're online.
We're on the line.
I live my life 1 quarter online at a time. Which is actually probably true.
It is true.
And sad.
It's pretty sad, too.
We got a long way to go. And a short time to get there.
Yeah.
Bow, bow. Chicka, chicka.
Hey. Oh, are we live?
Bow, bow.
Yeah. Just like a couple minutes ago when everyone else has.
Oh, hey, buddy.
How about that chat?
What up, chat?
Chicka,
Chat.
Nobody knows there's a chat yet.
Oh, because you didn't tweet it.
Well, if they follow us on the YouTubes.
If they smash that subscribe button and ring that bell.
Ring the bell. You'll get notifications.
Get your hot notes.
Is that the new one, Ring That Bell?
Yep. Ring the bell.
Ring that bell.
Ring that bell.
All right, there's a tweet now.
All right. I'm going to retweet it.
You can ring that bell.
Hey.
Ooh, I had
hey,
sound.
You gotta talk about how he enters the room.
I haven't had a sound mouth in a while.
Well, we know 'cause we broke it.
Yeah. Oh, God.
What?
Hey, look. Look, y'all.
Hey, what?
I got a clapboard.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit!
Man, there goes our awkward clapping.
Does it work?
Oh, see, now we have to start the show.
Hey, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
Episode 977.
I mean, it's no, me clapping, but it'll work without
It's not even a me clapping, but
me hurting my
It's a
hand.
meek clap.
It's all right. I'll figure it out.
You will.
you should get a dry erase
So-
marker now.
I should. I meant to
On
steal
real
one from
ones,
work.
do they have to replace the color bars often?
What do you mean on real ones? This is a real one.
Do they have to replace the color bars often? Because they fade and the colors change?
Every-
Because isn't that what it's for? It's for chroma keying and that sort of thing?
Mostly for sound syncing.
Yeah.
I mean, more than anything.
No, but I mean, like, when you show that in the frame, you're showing the colors so that
Sure.
you can have an accurate representation.
So you can use this for white balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, yeah. Perhaps.
I wonder how often they go through them.
I mean,
I wonder if they still use
They
them.
they also don't use ones like that. They
They're
use,
digital now.
Yeah, they're
They've got
digital
time
and-
code on them.
Man, fuck digital.
But also, everyone I've ever seen in any behind-the-scenes anything has been beaten to fuck.
What do you mean?
Like, anytime I've seen any blooper reels or behind-the-scenes footage, those things are usually beaten all to hell.
Yeah.
So they don't replace them. They just...
Repaint them?
Yeah.
but yes, with the digital ones, really, I mean, the clap is just
It's just for funsies.
yeah, it makes it for funsies.
Yeah.
I mean, it does stop the timer and sync everything. But
Sinks.
Yes, sinks.
yeah, I mean, this is a legit one. It's just an El Cheapo one.
It doesn't have numbers on it.
It doesn't have numbers
It
on it.
doesn't have numbers on it. It doesn't.
Are you
I have
are you
not.
stepping?
No, I ain't stepping. You're stepping. You want to go? You want to go?
I'm right here. I don't have to go anywhere. I'm already here.
You ain't saying nothing.
You ain't saying nothing.
You ain't saying nothing.
Nothing.
Podcast time. It's 9:27.
Yeah, where are the people at? Hello, people.
Oh, it's a Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
I know. Well, spoiler, we're going to be here next Tuesday also.
People are busy watching. Is there a basketball tonight?
It's tomorrow night.
Oh,
People
Maybe
are
the
just-
world's ending and we don't even know it because we're in here.
that would be sweet.
Everyone is busy singing the national anthem. And
Oh.
God Bless America.
Right.
And knowing all the words
No,
by heart.
they are not. That man does not know the words.
Nope.
I don't know the word.
Maybe they're getting
Yeah, I don't
blown
either.
away by a hurricane. It is officially hurricane season.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, Jen has already said, like, okay, we're ordering these types of shutters.
Mm-hmm.
Because now we can afford to order hurricane bullshit.
Man.
You're going to get the ones you just like push a button and they...
And no. We're getting like there's like cloth ones.
Mm.
Where it's
Okay.
like this weird fabric.
All right.
But yeah, they fire like 2x4s at it and it bounces off. It's pretty sweet.
Wait.
All right.
The shutters fire 2x4s
No.
at the hurricane.
No, the demonstrations.
fight back.
Yes, that's how they fight the hurricane.
Fuck off, Hurricane.
They don't defend from the hurricane.
Right.
They go on the offensive. They're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, hurricane, take this!" Boom, 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 and then the hurricane's like, "All right, never mind."
You're right. I don't want to come to your neighborhood.
I've heard of lumbar support, but you have lumbar support.
Yes. No, but in the demo video, that's what they show. They show them firing 2x4 at like your standard plywood thing, and it's like shatters.
So they show like some schmo's house of just getting obliterated by 2x4s. Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
And then the metal ones, they show it right through the metal ones.
And then these
But
cloth
this
ones are like-
fabric, it comes back. It's like a trampoline, and then it
Oh.
kills the cameraman because
Nice.
it comes back and fucking
So
pummels,
Murders
your
your
neighbors
neighbor's
are
house,
dead.
yeah.
pummels that son of a bitch.
You-
So all my windows are going to repel everything.
What if your neighbors get that too, and then they're just like,
It's just this infinite loop of 2x4s going back and forth.
Then we
just
have
picking
just
up speed.
We have just harnessed infinite power
Yeah.
right there.
wow.
And then it's like a Galaxy Quest thing. You can't get between the houses because the
It's
2x4s.
It's like a
Yep.
Hurricane Higgs boson over there.
I'll be Higgs boozing during the next hurricane.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you
I don't
will.
know what that Higgs.
I got to sleep in a closet because of
Higgs
tornado
boson.
warnings. That was sweet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember doing something similar.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah. I remember thinking I was going to die.
What,
Eh,
what
I
did
never
you
thought
think?
I was going to die. I was just like, man, this sucks.
When were you gonna die?
During the hurricane.
What hurricane?
The last one.
Why were you thinking you were gonna die?
Because it was scary.
That one wasn't even that
I
bad.
didn't even get here.
The last one was worse than the one the year before.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the year before, I wasn't even here.
Yeah.
I had left on vacation the day before.
We had one sustained gust of wind that I thought was it. Like when I heard it, I was like, "Fuck, here it is!" Like I can't even.
Yeah,
I don't
we-
even have enough time to wake someone up.
We
This-
definitely got the freight train sound in
Yeah.
the backyard. And that's like apparently when tornadoes are nearby, is that's what you hear.
Yep.
Never good.
No.
Not good.
Bad. But never lost power once.
Oh,
We
must
didn't
be
lose-
fucking nice.
Yeah, we didn't lose it till the morning. And then it was off all fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, God damn it. I didn't need it overnight. I need it now.
Yeah, mine went off at midnight and stayed off for about 16 hours.
Yeah, mine went off at about 7 a.m. And they didn't come back until like 7 p.m.
Actually, no, it was after midnight because it was like 1 or 2 a.m. because it was just enough. Like, well, I guess I'm gonna have power, and then go to sleep and beep. Oh, all the
shit.
UPSs are out. Okay, all right.
Yeah, what year was it that they had? We had like 3 that came over the state. Was that 2004?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the year that my power was out for like 5 days.
Yeah.
Because my street just didn't have was one of the last. Like it wasn't between any cross streets. It was just like we have this one block, and yeah, we were like one of the last streets to get power in the entire city.
I have no idea, but like I stayed at my parents' house out of the beach, never lost power. Sat in that fucker with it all boarded up.
Oh man.
Which was like, all right. And I was there by myself, and it was just like, all right, turn on the TV until it doesn't work anymore, and it worked the whole fucking time.
It's like, man, I gotta tell you, boarding up was the best part of the hurricanes last year because the dogs slept in. They had no idea what time
nice.
it was
Nice.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it was like a
No sun.
true blackout windows.
Yeah.
Man, that was the fucking best.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was house sitting for a house on the beach, like I occasionally would just hit the hurricane. They had the automatic hurricane shutters.
Oh, man.
And just like it was like if I knew it was late night, it was just like just putting those down.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Also useful if you know that you're going to get invaded by a group of mercenaries bent on your destruction.
Sure.
Or something similar.
Yeah. An Invasion USA situation.
It could happen.
That's every weekend.
Yeah.
So, should we just do a podcast?
I guess no one's going to show up for this.
People don't want to be spoiled on the hurricane.
That's
heist.
true. There's so much hurricaning and so much.
Speaking of
heisting.
which, do we want to do this extra style or do we want to do it regular style? Recap.
We can do it regular style. I mean, there's huge chunks of this that aren't really point by point worthy of
Yeah.
talking about anyway.
Yeah.
There's certainly not a vast familiar BMFcast cast and crew for this.
No.
2 names.
Weird.
Who was the other one? I know you said put it in the notes, but
So Maggie Grace has not been in another BMFcast movie.
No,
Weird.
who was the other person?
Ben Cross.
Ben Cross? How long?
You'll find out. He was in a beloved BMFcast movie.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
All right.
You know, that week we did Chariots of Fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, Maggie Grace showed up in the later Twilight movies.
Right.
Mm.
I double checked.
I didn't know she even popped up in those.
Yeah. Okay. We should podcast.
Okay. All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
Episode 425.
Blaze it.
Could still.
Man,
Oh, totally.
I'm going to love that joke forever.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie, come in here and talk about it for the first half, and then we rate them good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5. Jocks and Robot Jocks.
Yes,
Robot
that's correct.
Jocks.
Robot Jocks.
Robot Jocks.
wait,
Sure,
what's-
yes.
Robot Jock. However,
Robot jocks.
Robot Jocks.
however,
These are robots.
Robot Jocks. However, there are bad movies. There's a stay away. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags as in giant bags of trash.
Ooh, garbage.
Garbage. Trash.
Blow it out.
Trash. I can roll some R's. Anyway, whatever. We're doing the Hurricane Heist. It's new to Blu-ray.
It came out this
today.
week, today.
Brand
Yeah.
spanking new.
Brand spanking new. And
Yeah.
man, we saw the trailers for this, and we were like, that has BMFcast written all over it.
Right. And then it played in theaters for about a day. I don't remember it coming out.
I remember it being advertised.
Yeah, I
Like-
remember that.
Like, I remember seeing a trailer like months before, and then never seeing anything else.
Yeah, no.
Not
I remember
thing.
when the promotional campaign started. It was like, hey guys, check this out. And I was like, yeah, we want to check that out. And then I don't remember it coming out at all. It must have opened against, the Avengers or some shit.
No, it was.
March 9th.
Yeah, there wasn't much,
Okay.
but it was like one of the Strangers movies, or whatever.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
okay.
it was a dull time, and it still failed miserably. So
it was a dull time.
Would you like a quick plot recap for the Hurricane Heist? As if you could not figure out what it's about
Yeah, I don't
just
know.
on the title alone.
it opened against Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, well, that totally
That
did
blockbuster. Remember that blockbuster?
It did have a huge marketing blitz.
it. A Wrinkle in Time?
Yeah.
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 It probably did all right that first weekend, and everyone
It
was like,
did
oh,
okay.
my God.
And then people were like, this
promptly
sucks.
vanished again.
Yeah. So here's a plot summary for this Hurricane Heist. Thieves attempt a massive heist against the U.S. Treasury as a Category 5 hurricane approaches one of its mint facilities.
Huh.
It did look like it was in perfect condition.
Yeah, it was a very nice,
Yeah.
pristine
It was near mint, at
facility. Yeah. I
least.
don't
Well,
know if
the
it-
guard check was near mint.
Yeah, I don't know if it was graded,
Yeah.
bagged.
It was bollard. I didn't see any crates.
Oh, okay. We should talk about how this
Oh.
movie starts.
Oh,
'cause
man.
it might be the best.
Do we want to talk about alumni first?
Oh, we do. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
yeah.
How the director is Rob Cohen,
Uh huh.
going all the way back to one of our first episodes, Stealth. The
Stealth.
movie in which a sentient plane downloads all the music.
All the music,
All the music.
all of it.
So he was only responsible for the first of the triple X's.
Yes.
Rob Cohen did not do the other
No.
triples X.
It was like not Lee Tamahori. God, the guy who did Die Another Day did Triple X State of the Union, and then I believe DJ Caruso did the
Right.
newest one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just launches franchises. He
Sure.
doesn't stick around.
Yeah, and he did the first The Fast and the Furious, also known as the worst The Fast and the Furious.
The most grounded Fast and the Furious.
I mean, I still think the fourth one is worse than the first one.
The fourth one, yeah.
Neither of those holds up well. Let's put it that way. The first one especially does not hold up well.
But at least
but there
Paul
are some
Walker
nice
like tuna
practical
sandwiches.
stunts. Yes, but there are some nice practical stunts on the freeway stuff.
As I found out when I rewatched them, it is strangely refreshing to go back to the first movie and just watch a normal, grounded, just dudes
Yeah.
posturing over fucking racing bullshit. And that's it. There's
Yeah.
no fucking superhero nonsense happening. It's weird. It's weird to go back and watch.
That's why it sucks.
I don't know.
Nah.
I like it better now than I did when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So anyway.
that's where I'm
Yeah.
going.
Otherwise, the only other BAMcast alum somehow is Ben Cross of Turbulence. His most famous movie, Turbulence.
Correct.
One of our favorite BAMcast movies, Turbulence.
It's an excellent Christmas movie.
It is. Yes, Turbulence is indeed a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, man, nobody else.
No. These people have
Well,
been
I
in
mean,
things.
yeah, I was going to
but-
say there are
Yeah.
other people that you will recognize, just not BAMFcast alums.
Right.
Yeah.
Until now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get Ralph Ineson's voice,
Mm-hmm.
which is still one of the best fucking voices on the planet.
Yep.
And Maggie Grace is our hero, along with Toby Kebbell and Ryan Quanten. Quanten?
Quentin. Yeah.
Who, Toby and Ryan are, what are they? Australian and what else?
British.
And
UK.
British.
Well,
From
in
Yorkshire.
reverse order, yes.
Yeah.
And in traditional fashion, they are doing American Southern accents.
Sure.
Because God
Sort
forbid
of.
you ever cast someone from the U.S. to actually do a U.S. accent. in
Well, it's a
a
much
US
longer way
show.
to Belarus from
Yeah,
you
that's
know
true.
from
Well-
Mississippi than it is from the Englands.
Toby doesn't have a lot of experience at it. His is particularly bad. Ryan at least had many years on True Blood of doing the Louisiana thing.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, everyone in the cast looks like they were probably on the Vampire Diaries at some point. That's the way this cast looks. Everyone's thin and just skeletal looking and just like...
and vaguely Eastern European.
yeah. It's just...
It's because they're all vampires from Belarus.
well, Ryan played the brother of Suke.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Suke.
Suke.
Beal.
Yeah.
All those True Blood references. Yeah. So anyway,
So anyway, yeah, the light on alumni.
that's what we get for doing a 2018 movie.
Yeah, light on money made.
Yeah.
Like $12 million dollars, and that's not just like in the U.S. That's like everywhere.
Yeah. In the world.
Yeah, usually it's like, man, it bombed in the U.S., but it made a shitload in China.
Yeah, but China made...
China was like American money. Nobody gives a fuck about
Yeah.
that.
It's like, what is this garbage?
Yeah. We get tsunamis here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We don't know what this storm is. Thank you. No frame of reference.
The typhoons. That would be the equivalent.
Oh, a typhoon.
A tsunami's a
Well,
The
the,
wave.
the title
Yeah.
didn't translate properly, and they're
Yeah.
just...
Yeah, typhoon.
theft.
Yeah. A typhoon theft.
Typhoon take stuff.
Typhoon takers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
Hurricane Heist.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with a flashback.
It does.
Yeah, in 1992.
Yes. When Hurricane Andrew
Mhm.
made its way through.
Gulfport.
Yeah. I guess.
Well, that's
Did
what they
it
said
make it
they're
all the way
from.
there?
I mean, I
I
think it
I
did.
thought it just basically wrecked South Florida and then dissipated.
No, I think it just
Yeah, I
kind
think-
of
Carried on through.
I think it moved into the
picked
Gulf.
up some more steam in the Gulf.
It was
and then
not as
went-
strong because it just decimated Miami.
According to this movie, it was quite strong.
Apparently so, yes.
It was strong enough, in fact, to
Summon the devil.
summon the devil,
Yeah.
for one. For one, it summoned... Well, that was the second thing it did that
yeah,
was
sure.
amazing.
Yes.
But the first thing it did was basically blow like a corn silo across these two dudes' father.
Yes.
After they had to pull over to the side of the road because there was maybe a cow or something.
There was
No.
a tree fell into the road.
Yeah, a
Tree fell in the road. They run off road.
But did it make a sound?
Yes.
It
Yes,
did.
it
yeah.
did.
Because there were people around
We
who
heard
were
it.
innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the younger brother keeps blaming the older brother, saying that if he hadn't been screwing around, they would have been out of here by now.
Mhm.
It's all his fault.
Yeah.
And he gets to say that even more, yes, because the top of a silo, they watch it run over their father as he tries to get back to the house.
It was magnificent.
Yes.
It was. It was,
It got a hearty laugh out of all of us.
it was real good, especially because
Hurricane Murder gets laughs
they
in
had
the
set up
BMFcast studio.
The kids were like, Dad's invincible. Nothing can stop him. And then this corn silo just fucking pancakes him.
Yeah, and then their house gets basically rotated, like it just cartwheeled, and eventually the roof rips off as they're both laying on the ground screaming, and a skull forms in the clouds above them.
Yeah.
Swirls around for a bit, forms more solidly, and we're like, "Yep, that's a skull."
It sure
and
is.
then that kind of fades into the title card,
Yeah.
the Hurricane Heist.
It menaced them.
It did.
Yeah.
Apparently, it didn't get them though.
No.
Yeah. I think that was a callback to Rob Cohen's previous movie, The Skulls. No, I don't.
All right,
It
IMDb
wasn't. It
trivia.
was.
Yes, I have just added it to the
Oh, okay,
trivia
thanks,
section.
yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
skulls were heavily featured.
I got IMDb
in...
points for that because one of 45 people found this interesting.
I'll be the one.
Yeah. But then, no, present day. But we're still
Yeah.
in Gulfport.
Toby Kebbell's the now younger brother grown up, and he is
He's a storm chaser.
he's a storm chaser.
He's a doctor of meteorology.
Sure.
He's also a storm chaser.
No, because she calls him a storm chaser at one point, and he gets offended.
Oh.
She gets offended that she calls him a hurricane hunter.
Right.
But he is a storm chaser.
Well, all right.
He
Or a
He's a
hurricane chaser.
meteorologist.
he
He's
drives
there-
around in a fancy like ATV thing like
Okay.
Doesn't he call it the Dominator?
It's called
Yes.
the Dominator.
It is, yeah.
yeah.
which is a reference to the Fast and the Furious.
Dom was the main
Right,
character.
Right.
His car was black.
There's an actual hurricane hunter that has an actual purpose-built tornado chasing vehicle that is called the Dominator.
Oh.
And I wonder if this is
Tribute.
or the
his
actual
vehicle, the actual vehicle, because he built a second or third version of it. The first one was made out of like a Ford Expedition, and it looked real dumb.
That sounds dumb.
But this one
The
looks
Ford Expedition was in Jurassic Park,
yes,
which was also a disaster movie of sorts.
yes, that's correct. It also featured a hurricane.
Nature run amok.
Yes. Storms hit both areas.
and much
parallel
like that,
characters.
much like that movie, the life found a way in this one to steal money.
True.
Yeah. Which, by the way, so one of his one of his science duties is he launches drones out to do something with the hurricane.
He launches like commercial,
Yeah,
like,
just
commercially
cheap
available.
Kmart fucking drones.
No, those are DJI. Those are fucking
Yeah.
like $3,000, $5,000. I mean, they're not Hurricane Hunter drones, but they are not cheap drones.
Yeah.
My brain was already like, okay, those drones are going to come back and save the day somehow at the end. They're going to fly in and do some drone shit. Because everything else in this movie has a goddamn callback, including when the kids are when they get run off the road, the dad was telling them, hey, practice your football plays. And you're like, what? And they're just shouting red, blue, 23 hike at each other, which then comes up 90 more times in the movie and never makes any sense how it comes up whatsoever.
Not at all.
They just shout it to one another, and you think, oh, they're going to do something cool, or they're going to throw the magic iPad, or do some football
Nope.
shit. No, it's just code for do a thing. So I thought the drones would come back. They didn't.
No. The drones were lost forever.
I guess so. Yeah. But yeah,
Or
the
RIP
entire
They,
first.
they hopefully ended up in a rescue and then were found a new home.
Right. Yes. Forever home.
Yeah. Forever home.
They're
for
on,
those
they're on
forever
a farm.
drones.
They're on a farm with all the other drones.
No. Running free,
Yeah.
flying free.
Yeah, flying free.
Yes. They can fly into as many storms as they want
Yeah.
now.
But yeah, the first 15 minutes is basically all of Twister, because like he's sitting there waiting to launch these things and study the hurricane, and
And he's telling the National Weather Service that, hey, this is way stronger than you guys think.
yeah. They have just upgraded it to a Category 1 hurricane. He's like, nah, the storm walls got this millibars and the thing. And
Yeah, the cumulus are doing this.
yeah,
And, yeah.
it's super powerful. And it's going to,
yeah.
oh,
and
it's
we
so
should
big.
mention his accent,
Yeah.
which is guy doing exaggerated Southern accent.
Yes, and I think it's one of the things that this movie does differently than other movies, in that its two main characters are super duper Southern.
Yeah.
Like they would be the racist side characters in another movie. That's this movie.
Yeah.
They would water down the accents of the main protagonists, but in this one, for some reason, they've just let them just be, like Lucas Black. Like that
Oh,
is
yeah.
their accent the whole time.
Yep.
So
Yeah, but I appreciate that they let them sling blade, but they don't like mumble.
Yeah, no.
Because usually everyone slips into like when I have to do southern, they fucking Jeff Bridges it, mumble about in the southern.
Yeah.
And at least they kind of like still try to speak clearly but have the accent,
Yeah. I mean, everything they're saying is smart.
even if it's a bad accent.
Yeah. It's fine.
It's a bad accent.
I had no problem with it.
They don't
fu-
really play anybody as the stupid fucking
No.
Yeah.
kick-ass moron, which is kind of nice.
No, because I
for
mean
once.
they clear out the town immediately. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no hick-ass morons left.
right. There are really no locals to like the military and the police are the only people
Well, yeah,
left in
I mean,
town.
the police are basically like, get out of town. And there's this one old guy who tells old Sheriff Ben Cross, he's like, you sure about this? He's like, you better go and regret leaving than regret staying.
And be dead, regret
Yeah.
dying.
There's always one guy looking at the clouds like, I don't know, my bones say this ain't going to be that powerful.
Yeah.
It's like, get you and your fucking bones out of here.
Yeah, but of course he can't get anywhere because as we know from every hurricane that's ever hit our state, the freeway's a parking lot.
Yeah.
But they
And when you live
apparently-
in Gulfport, you don't
Yeah.
have a freeway.
Yeah, you have a 2-lane road.
Right.
Yeah, but like, it literally is one truck broken down that, for whatever reason, broke down, parked sideways across the road.
Yeah, and they're just out there staring at it like, oh, golly gee,
Like,
what do we do?
yeah,
Like
not
get off the
yeah,
fucking
push it off
road.
the
yeah,
fucking
like
road.
seriously, 3 or 4 people just go push that.
And I love
car.
that 90% of these are trucks, and none of them just like go off the side of the road to go around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's plenty of room.
But
to
there are semis waiting to come into town,
Yes.
which is Maggie Grayson Company loading in the money that is going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Thus, the plot of Demolition High.
Correct.
All over again.
Right.
Yeah,
But yes, they have 3 semi trucks
yeah, and
sitting there
she's-
waiting, and she's just like, get out of the way.
Yeah, and she's riding with Ralph Ineson, who's
Yeah.
just doing the whole voice thing
Right.
about how we need to, I'll retire to Ireland. I can't even do his deep voice, but he has just the best fucking voice. I can't get enough of his voice, and I like that they use that later on.
Yeah.
That his voice is so distinctive that when she hears it on the radio, she knows. But anyway,
but
yeah.
she's like, switch places with me because I'm crazy and I'm just going to drive through these tobacco fields. And so they just bypass all that, roll into the treasury, do that whole thing of like, yeah, we got 600, or no, they don't quite have $600 million. There's some already there.
300 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got 300 million. There's already another 300 million sitting there waiting to be destroyed because the shredders are broken.
Right.
Cue the, hot young British hacker team that's supposed to be like their shredder experts.
The Shrexpert.
Well, it's like if you were to look up like British young mobster dude and his mall,
Yeah.
it's like they come rolling in. And I mean, it's like there's nothing hidden about it. I mean, he's just like he's dressed like British gangster dude, and she's wearing like a evening cocktail sexy
Yeah.
dress.
Oh yeah, it's like one of those with one shoulder strap.
Yeah,
and then like
they're straight out of Hudson Hawk. It's like,
Yeah.
what on earth? Like, obviously, you people there's something wrong
yeah,
with you.
You have not been sent by the government.
yeah,
to do
no,
anything.
you
Yeah.
can't afford any of that
And
on
we're
the
like,
government
oi,
side.
governor, way to fix a shredder.
You're like, all right,
My
good.
wife works for a government entity, and she can't even wear capris until after June 1st. This is in Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah, you would not be allowed to wear that cocktail dress in Shreveport.
No.
Or wherever they are. Gulfport.
Shreveport, Gulfport,
Same thing.
Well, different states.
Port
Based.
Charles, whatever.
Port.
Shreveport's in Louisiana, Gulfport's
Port.
in Alabama.
Fine.
All right, I'm just
Okay.
throwing it out there.
Jesus.
Some people care; they're from that state and stuff. Anywho,
I'm
but yes,
again going to say it's a bummer they don't pay off the shredder. They threaten to pay it off, but no one goes into the shredder.
No.
They don't have the money for it, I don't think.
I guess.
Well, all right. So there's a weird thing about this movie because whatever they go off and do their thing, and then there's a quick shot of like some people, hooking up a satellite dish, that whole action thing, and they're like, "All right, it's online." And then like the shit goes down where everybody's like riding up, pulling guns, and they're trank darting everybody.
yes.
So like, there's a weird thing that this movie does for a while. I was like, is this movie like going for a no kill besides the dad in the beginning? Like, I mean, it was like there was a long time where it was like they were going out of their way not to shoot anybody.
Oh, the guy even makes a point of that. He's like,
Yeah.
"This has been bloodless so far. Don't make me change that."
I know, but then there's moments even later where it's like they're going out of their way not to shoot anybody, and it's like, what weird thing is going on here?
They don't look. The bad guy is not in any way developed whatsoever beyond. I want the
money.
gold.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Give me
he-
the gold.
Yeah, but he seems like he was a career dude and just saw an opportunity, and is not like full madman. Of course, then
No.
he goes full madman. But
Right. But I mean, like, yeah, they're rolling up and they're tranking everybody,
Yeah.
loading up all the soldiers, the guards. You know, they're all tranked and they're like throw them in the one of the holding pins, and then it's like then what's his face the dude with the voice
the dude with the
it's
voice.
Ralph
innocent yeah, he like is like, oh yeah, I've been on it too, and pulls a gun and tranks the last few dudes, and basically gets it down to like everybody's tranked except for like the director dude, and that's it. Like I mean, like all the everyone else is like tranked and locked in a pin.
Yeah, where it's implied that he and Maggie Grace have a backstory of some kind of
Right.
history together.
They're snipey at each other.
Yeah.
That's basically the extent of what we get, which
Yeah.
is just basically like, you get out of my office. Don't drink my coffee,
and,
man.
And Maggie Grace conveniently exits all of this because she was chatting on an iPad about some mission that went badly in Utah, which I'm like, what kind of mission went poorly in Utah? Like,
Yeah.
like did you
That's classified.
marry a guy with one too many wives?
Yeah.
I mean, what happened here?
Yeah.
But like,
What polygamy scheme did you
yeah.
get involved in?
but anyway, like she is like, I got a bad feeling about this, and then
Well,
like,
no, what happens is the backup generator.
well,
goes.
before that, she's
Okay.
chatting with that guy, and she's like, I want to change the codes. She's
Well,
like,
yeah,
I-
she's like, I don't. Hey,
This hurricane
If,
and
if I
stuff-
was a local idiot, I would
Yeah.
totally rob this place during a hurricane.
Hurricanes bring out the
Yeah.
the looters and stuff. Like let's change the codes. He's like, fine, I authorize it. So she goes on her iPad, beep, boop,
Okay,
boop,
yeah.
boop, and changes the code, and then the backup generator dies. She's like, well, that's weird, and then decides to stash her iPad in the shredded money.
Yes,
Yeah, and then like leaves to go get Ryan Quanten, who's like
he's the
mechanic
generator
dude.
man.
Yeah. So
Yes.
she's off base when like the whole takeover thing happens, and they don't realize it until they're like down to just the head dude, and they're like, "Wait, where's Maggie Grace?" And they're like, "Oh, god damn it!" And he's like,
Well,
Yeah,
they realize-
they find it out when they try to put the code in.
Yeah, they try to put
and
the code in.
hackers
Yeah.
are thwarted.
Yeah.
"Yeah," because they've already hacked the code before this."
Yeah, they tested it earlier in the day, but because she changed the code, they're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Well,
so
we need her.
We need her. Go get her.
Yeah. So most of this whole movie is like them go like so. Brother dude goes back to see Ryan Quanten, the Toby Kebbell brother, and it's just like, dude, what's wrong with your life? Have you been getting the money and stuff that I've been sending you? He's like, I don't need your charity. I don't
Yeah.
want your laugh.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and all, and then he's just like, well, fine, I'll see you again in 5 years. And Maggie Grace shows up, and they're boarding up the place and all
Yeah.
this, and because I think he was going to leave with them, like, all right, fine, I will leave town with you until this storm blows over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she shows up, and he's like, generator's broken. He's like, well, gotta go.
Yeah.
Government calls.
You
Bye.
finished nailing up my windows for me,
Yeah.
little brother. Bye.
So there's briefest little moment where it's like you think Maggie Grace and Toby Kebbell are kind of flirting, but not really. I mean, it's,
Nothing ever really.
yeah,
comes to
there's
that.
not really any emotional connection between any
Yeah.
one of them
Nope.
there.
Yeah, but they get back, and she immediately knows something's wrong
Mm-hmm.
because
The guards are all gone.
The guards are
and
gone,
the,
and
the gate's wide open too.
they concussion grenaded the gatehouse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so she immediately goes into like combat mode, and then they come out and shoot at her, and he
with the brightest laser sight I have ever
Yeah.
seen.
It looks really fucking cool. though.
It does, but it's
it's
yeah,
one's green. There's a green and a red,
Yeah.
and they're just blinding. I don't know how they pulled that off without giving her permanent eye damage.
right. Just
it
Yeah.
probably wasn't even real. It's probably CG. I don't know.
CG.
It looked good.
It looked
Yeah,
good.
It
yeah.
did
pretty
look
good.
good, but yeah, she's about to give up when
Well, they
Ryan-
Ryan Quanten had had been talking with her in the car. It was like, yeah, I'm a hometown boy, but I did escape to Afghanistan for a little while, so
just to mix things
just
up.
so I've got some training.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I know
when they pull
some
the guns on her,
things.
he jumps in the driver's seat and like peels the car out and like rescues her, and they drive away.
yeah, there's a lot of bulletproof cars in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they don't get far because the hackers
Yeah, they
raise
the bollards.
Yeah.
Yep.
they watchdogs them and trap them there.
And he somehow drives directly into them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is the hurricane has arrived.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
they can't see 6 inches in front of them, so I can forgive that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
they don't get killed, but she gets away.
Yeah, he basically
And
like
he
go on, get out
basically
of here.
surrenders
Yeah.
so that they'll
He's just like, what? I'm the generator mechanic.
Yeah, I
you
was
need me.
just like, they're just gonna fix your thing, and they're like, all right, you go down there. We won't even guard you. Just get down there and do it.
There's a lot of we need you for this one thing, so we're not going to kill you.
Yeah. They don't need him. They don't need the generator for anything. The bad guys don't. So why they're just like, okay, get down there and
They
turn
kind of do to get the lock.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they're on
the lock still needs.
they're
power.
on power right now, but the generator that he's working on, if the power goes out, they're not opening a.
They're
guess.
expecting the power
Yeah.
to go out because
Okay.
of the hurricane.
I guess it just for something either not at all important or very important. There's no one guarding him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, they don't
that is
because
dumb.
like he just goes down there and is picking the lock, and eventually, they check on him a couple times, and like he's down there drinking, and then they're just like, you better do your job. He's like, all right, I will. And then like eventually at one point, like finally gets out and gets to the cage where all the army dudes are, and he's like giving them the lowdown of the situation. They're like, all right, get us out of here, and he starts clipping the cage, the chain link of the cage, and then the
instead
hacker
of the chain that's holding the gate shut.
Well, he does have little tiny clippers. I think he actually may have been doing that with a Leatherman, which is not going to break
Okay.
the
Okay.
a chain. But anyway, the hacker people see him finally, and they're like, "Oh shit, he's trying to release the soldiers," and they electrify the fence and blow him back. And then, of course, they go down there and capture him again.
Right. So that's pretty much his entire through the second act of this movie is that's what happened to him.
yeah.
He's not the main character of this film.
No.
at
Yeah,
all.
because Maggie Grace has gotten back into the basically been chased into the town square, where she's having a firefight with one of the bad guys who is no longer using tranquilizers. He's using live ammo on her,
Yeah.
even though they need her to put the code in.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I guess he doesn't realize that just yet.
Well, they need.
And she's also firing live rounds at him, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is when Toby Kebbell notices.
Yes.
Was his name Will? in this
Will.
movie?
Will.
Will.
Yeah.
And
Because his
Willie.
brother's name is Breeze.
Breeze.
Willie.
Well, they call him the Breeze.
He's just listed on IMDb as Breeze.
Yep.
Yeah, but Hurricane.
I know.
Yeah, it's clever. Come on.
But anyway, Will saves her by hopping in his storm chaser
The Dominator.
vehicle, the Dominator, and basically getting in the way.
Yes.
And because the Dominator is apparently bulletproof too, because it chases storms. So
That one totally makes sense.
yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But yes, they
But-
drive away in that. They pursue. I think has the sheriff like tipped his hand? No,
No, because
they
they
get away long enough to go to the sheriff's.
Yeah,
office.
she's basically like, man, shit went down. We need to get some backup.
Yeah.
Let's
get local
He goes
law
to
enforcement.
use the sat phone, which of course they conveniently show they shot the satellite dish off the back of the
Of course.
Dominator.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have sat phone. They're like, all right, well, local
He
sheriff.
is mildly annoyed at this, but it is incredibly funny. He's just like, well, I would have had sat phone if it hadn't been shot.
Yeah. Shot my sat phone.
And he's like flapping at it. It's like, no, it doesn't work, idiot. Stop.
Yeah. Well, this is also one of these movies where like every readout display has like the most advanced UI on it.
Pretty good.
I mean, even in his little vehicle,
oh yeah,
the satellite signal that's shown is like a
it's pretty good. 3D
friggin-
waveform kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like one of those 3D representations of satellite signal. That's just like, all right, whatever, man.
Yeah, well, the government has all the
Yeah.
money for weather.
Yeah, but they go to the sheriff Ben Cross and they're like, man, I don't know, we don't know how many there are, but I didn't see any blood, so I know they probably got hostages in there, and there's at least 3 that chased us. There's probably a bunch more since they took out at 14 armed guards. And he's like, well, yeah. That'd be a real shame if you got back there without me shooting you.
Yeah, because he goes around the corner. He's like, well, we can't have any of that. Now I got a shotgun. We can't have you not going back and opening the vault, so go do it. And just, like, he has her drop her gun, and she kicks it across the room, and then she just like
She just kind of dives
for it and gets it, and they just
Yeah.
have a shootout in the office for half a second, and then they get
it
the hell
away.
out of there.
Yeah, this is also a movie where a lot of shots are fired that don't hit anyone.
Yes.
Yeah, this was like the point where I was like, are they just not going to kill anyone besides the dad in the beginning? Because this shootout in the sheriff's office, it's a tiny office.
Yeah.
And it was like, she clearly had the jump on him whenever she did whatever
I thought
weird
she
move.
did shoot him.
Yeah.
I could have sworn she shot him, but he must have been wearing a vest or something.
Maybe,
I don't
yeah.
know. But I know, like, Will tackles him, pushes him over the desk,
Right.
and then they both run
Yeah.
out.
And he had been on the radio with them back at the Mint, and so a dude.
and that's when she heard
yeah.
when she heard Ralph's voice and was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's him.
So
But, yeah,
he
they-
was your inside man.
But yeah, they drive off in the Dominator. They chase him in a car. The hurricane's starting to pick up, but it's still not completely crazy yet at this point.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff there's debris in the road and everything, but like it's not picking up cars
not
level
blinding,
yet.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not as they later describe it, as 140 miles per hour outside while they're walking around in it. But yeah, it's
But eventually, like they're driving along, and he gets the plan of like, all right, you're not going to like this, but harness up. Because they're driving all around town.
Yeah, they're
shooting.
being chased.
I do like. There's one point where she like opens up the because it's got the cool like hurricane tack vehicle,
the gull
like,
wing.
like one door goes up and one door goes down, and so she's like leaned out shooting at it, and it empties her gun. And it's like, I'm out of bullets, and he's like, why? She's like, because I shot them all. It's like, what do you think?
Yeah,
But
like,
it's
what are you asking
it's
why
a really
for?
good lane.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on.
It's a
Oh, that
really
makes
good-
sense, yeah.
It's a good line read.
checks out.
But eventually he's like, all right, I got a plan, and you're not going to like this, but strap in, and harnesses himself up, and
He's like, do you trust me? And she's like, yeah, whatever.
I guess.
Yeah. So he gets around kind of a corner, stops the car,
Shoots like the ground spikes into, into
shoots the storm chaser spikes.
yeah, into the ground, and then this car just comes around the corner and just plows into them, and their car's fine, and it just wrecks this other car.
Oh yeah, it barrel rolls.
Yeah, they go flying through
a
like
bunch
a
of times.
tent or something and land, and then she sneaks over, and he's like, you're out of bullets. And she's like, they don't know that. So she sneaks over and takes one of their machine guns and a walkie-talkie. Die Hard technique.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, let's go. We
Yeah.
have everything
And then
we need.
the sheriff Ben Cross wakes up, and he's got like a compound fracture on his arm. He's just like,
yeah.
like, he's just doing that whole thing. And then like eventually you find out like all of his other all of his other deputies are in on this too. Because like I love that there's like this offhanded line read when he meets back up with them. And he's like my damn arm hurt. Somebody get me a Vicodin.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit later that you find out all the rest of the deputies are in it too. But I like that like he's running around for the rest of the movie with this compounded fracture. Anyway, but
everyone who gets injured in this gets injured in this. Like everyone sustains like a limp or some sort of massive face wound or something, but they all just, for as much as they need to, sell it for the rest of the movie. It's not like people are shrugging off, bullet wounds and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I guess that's one of the benefits of not having everyone get shot, is that when someone does get shot, that's it. They're out of the movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
So from here, they realize that, okay, our cell phones don't work, your sat phone doesn't work, but how come the hackers were able to get access to the outside world?
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, they must have a dedicated line. And, oh, my fancy 3D display about signals, it somehow hacking computer wireless.
it's basically a
We
radio
can
wave.
find the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Radio
electronics
stuff. Yeah, and he's like, plus this is a hick town in Gulfport. It's like they have 3 cell towers max, and there's only one of them is going to be live, so we'll find it no problem.
Yep.
And so what they do is they get there and they decide that they're going to hook the winch up to it and just yank that thing off the top of the building.
Yes. And this is when, by the way, he says it's 140 miles per hour outside. And then he's like, I'm going to go climb the tower.
Yes, I'm going to get to the highest point in town in these 140-mile-an-hour winds.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And-
he's swinging around at one point in time like a flag in the
does, yeah.
breeze. But I mean, he's got the cable for the winch up on the top of this tower, and
The bad guys are patrolling around in this giant truck.
Yeah.
And he sees them. She can't. And he's shouting at her to turn the lights off. And she's like, huh? What? And then she's like Phoebe Cates at the end of Gremlins, just flipping every switch that's in the thing. And it flips all the lights on and off. And they're like, there they are. So they go back to get them. And then this just starts utter chaos. This is
pretty much, yeah.
total fucking chaos because like he is flailing around on this tower trying to get the winch hooked to it. She just starts driving.
Yeah. Well, he
Rips the tower down most of the way. Which I all right. So I love this because there's a sequence where she knocks the tower over, but it's still like connected to the building, so it's just dangling on.
Yeah.
And then, but they still have signal the whole time.
Oh yeah, it's fine. The tower,
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
I just love
a very powerful
I love
tower.
that it's like
Yeah.
it still works. They had to actually disconnect it from the building for it to actually like cut the
Yeah.
power because they're doing the okay we've almost completely hacked this, like it's entering the numbers in one at a time, and so it's
Right.
like this ticking clock of like what did they say it was 33 numbers
36 numbers,
something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's down to like the very last one, and then she finally it knocks the rest of the way off the building.
Well, she hits the the storm
Spikes
chaser
again,
spikes again,
Yeah,
and
and then
turns the winch on.
Yeah.
It's
So
because
it's
before
pretty
she was
cool.
just driving in reverse, and he's like, "No, stop! Put the spikes down. Turn the winch on."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, we got it." Oh, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
like
the last
beep, boop, and
last square is
Yeah.
just red and blinking, and they're like, "What
And
happened?"
we're all like, it was only 2-digit codes, so they can just try those 100 digits.
But if you get it-
they explain it
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the next 10 minutes.
if
that-
you get it wrong once, it'll lock you out for 48 hours.
yeah.
And he comes up.
Somebody in the script writing process said, why not just do
Yeah, some brute forcing.
Yeah. And he even comes up with the like, all right, this is the Fibonacci sequence. We're eliminating all possibilities. It could be like they actually have him, Hacker Boy, do math, and it's
Yeah.
just like we're narrowing this down. Don't worry, we'll get it. Even though that doesn't matter at all.
No.
They eventually just
Yeah, eventually
Don't
just
need
like
it.
just find Maggie
Yeah.
Grace.
But-
It's easier that way.
okay. So during this chaos, like this like 70s sedan goes flying at one point, and as it starts to tumble, two of the hubcaps on this car go flying off and just Tron their way down this street.
Yep.
And you're like, that's pretty cool. And you're like, well, that's probably not going to come into play at all.
It's
be
totally
wrong.
it's totally going to come into play.
I know,
Yeah.
because so
Like seconds later, it
yeah,
comes into play.
because Will has gotten down, like the tower has fallen and the satellites, and he's down on the ground too. And he's hiding behind something, and like there's some auto shop something with
Yeah.
just this giant net of hubcaps,
Yep.
and he, as he's being shot at, yoinks these things down, and he's like standing in an alley, and the wind is just whipping down the street. It is all completely controlled, blowing down this one street.
400 miles an hour.
Yeah. So he just opens this bag and is just flinging hubcaps out into the street, and they're catching the wind and
Yeah,
just
that's what's great about it. Is like he's not throwing them down the street. He's
No.
like, he's off to the side, like in an alley, and just going whoop,
Yeah.
and, like dropping them into the main street, which then
Yeah.
get picked up by the wind.
yeah.
Yeah, and he fucking hard ticket to Hawaii's this one guy right in the
Yeah.
fucking chest with it.
Yeah, murders that man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then it's
because
just
Maggie
like,
Grace had killed one of the women. Because when they showed up in semis, they were like leaning out of the semis shooting, and
Yeah.
Maggie Grace is actually able to hit somebody with her machine gun, and
Yeah.
this woman crashes into the gas station, which blows up.
She
and-
explodes. It's
yeah.
pretty
While the
good.
dude's hanging onto the tower, just like, wow, check that out right
Yeah.
over there.
And she was also Ralph Edison's like girlfriend, so
Yes.
that makes him angry. And then this other guy was one of the other heisters' brother, so that makes
The
him
Alexander Goodenough
Yeah.
character's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now they're both
the
like,
dude that takes the hubcap to his chest. Like, not only does he get like cabled back, the thing is like buried halfway into his
Yeah.
chest. Like,
it's in there good. Yeah.
how much better would it have been if he like got hubcapitated? Like, I'm just like, it would have
Yeah.
been great.
You've been thinking about
Yeah, or
that
just
I
like-
know.
word
It
since
literally just popped in my
yeah,
head. Huh?
or just like fucking Predator 2.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Either way, man, I'm all about it. But yeah, that guy dead. The girlfriend dead. Eventually, they get away, and the
Yes.
other guys are like, "We got to get out of this. It's 140 miles an hour."
Yeah. And they pull into like an underground parking garage for the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I have to go to the bathroom. And Mackie, you said it, and I was thinking it, that movies never do this.
No, you never have a moment where the two people are like, "Man, I've had to take a piss for like."
Yeah.
Yeah,
An
she's
hour.
literally like running behind a pillar and like, oh my god, all this rain! I've
Yeah.
had to pee so bad.
And they're both like, yeah, you're right. And, they both go to the bathroom, and it's like, that's oddly refreshing. And it kind of happens again later when they're both like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. We need to eat.
Yeah.
It's like these things just don't happen in these kinds of things. They're just, they're all superhuman. They never do anything.
Yeah, it's like 24. How many seasons? And nobody ever went to the bathroom
Exactly.
or ate food ever.
Yes. So, yeah, they. Okay.
Yeah. So
I don't know how we get to the point where they're in the mall. There's a bunch of Ben Cross goes back to the Mint with his
Yeah.
sheriff's buddies, and he's just basically like, "Hey, our plan all along was to double cross you. Here we are. We're double crossing you now."
Yeah, because to be fair, like it's only what's his face and his one Alexander Goodenough henchman, dude.
and the two hackers.
And the
yeah,
two
the two
hackers,
hackers,
yeah.
which are they're very
Mostly useless.
threatening
Yeah.
entity.
And this is just like Ben Cross is just Ben Crossing. He's just like, hey, we're in charge now. We got this. And then the bad guys are like, nah, and just shoot Ben Cross dead. Like that's it. He's gone.
Yeah.
I was wondering. I was like, did they shoot him in the arm? Was he wearing a vest or anything?
Nope.
No. Ben Cross exits this movie just shot down, gone. And then, they all kind of just agree. Perkins, the bad guy, is just basically like, look, we can split this money with you. I like accomplices. I don't like witnesses. Mm-hmm. And the sheriff's deputies are all just like,
cool.
Yeah,
all right,
money.
that sounds fine. Let's
Yeah.
do that. So that's basically the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
They're
conflict.
getting kind of a raw deal because it's like there's $600 million there. They're willing to go for 20 each. I mean,
Hey,
there's not that many people left. I mean, that's
at
a
least
low
negotiate. At least
Yeah.
be like 30.
whatever.
cut. Yeah.
If
I'm
you
just
can't,
saying that's a low cut on that
Yeah.
much money.
if you can't
But
live
either
on
way-
$20 million.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what he tells them, he says, "Hey, you know what? There's nothing to split unless we find Maggie Grace."
Right. To get out there. Mm-hmm. And she actually calls in. She's just like, "Hey, look, I'm willing to make a deal. You let the hostages go. Let what's his face, Moreno,
Yeah.
the head dude, let
Yes.
him and the mechanic dude." It's weird because they play it like this Holly Gennaro thing where it's like they don't want them to know that he's this other guy's brother.
Yeah.
But then it just kind of comes out and means nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's weird because like they're talking about him generically at first when she's talking about like negotiating, like, yeah, let the generator mechanic guy go. Not like,
it
hey, let the
never
guy
in any way matters.
I
at
know,
all.
and then but then later it's like he's on the phone just like, I love you, brother. And they're like, yeah, that's very touching. Bye, click. It's like there's no reason why they're hiding it except they seem like they do. But she's like, if you're okay with that deal, like once I come in and give you code, then you let all the rest of the soldiers go. But first these two is a show of good faith. And he's like, fine. Where are you? And she's like, I'm at the mall. He's like, which mall? He's like, it's Gulfport. There's one mall.
Yeah,
figure
find
it out. So they send the deputies into the mall.
Yes.
They have been hanging out in like the sporting goods shop, which he's procured a flare gun and some like climbing harnesses and shit.
Yeah, they're each in harnesses.
Yeah, and he's like, I got a plan. It's like low pressure blowout or something
Pressure
like
differential.
Yeah, pressure differential thing.
Yeah.
Trust me on this one. So, for whatever reason, I guess they had no intention of giving up Moreno because he wasn't there.
No.
They just roll in with the deputies and Ryan Quanten rolls in, or Breeze, and
Breeze is in.
and then he does the dumb football thing. He's like, red 49
Yeah.
button hook, right? And he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's like, prepare to go long.
Yeah.
And the deputies are like, shut up.
Yeah.
It's just like, stop talking your jibber jabber.
And he's got a meteorological.
He's got an app on his iWatch.
He's got an Apple Watch,
Yeah.
and he's just watching the pressure go down to
Yeah.
like 700 something millibars,
Yeah.
which is literally impossible on planet Earth. But we're gonna let it go, and he tells.
He's just like, here we go.
Yeah, he tells Maggie Grace, he's like, all right, if I can do it now, and she shoots the flare gun at the atrium
skylight
thing, and it explodes, and then fucking everything gets sucked out of the fucking top of this mall.
Well, like the wind pressure comes down into the mall and then immediately just sucks right back out. So Will and Maggie Grace just whoom, they're out of there. But they're harnessed in. They're cabled. So it's just two people fucking kiting
people
up here,
balloons.
just
Yeah.
flailing around. Meanwhile, everyone else is just flying out the top of it too. Breeze somehow is able to not get sucked out of this entire mall, but this basically eliminates all the sheriff's deputies.
Well, he hangs on. He's. And plus, his name is Breeze. So he's just like, whatever. This is nothing.
Yeah, this is like
This is my thing.
These are my people.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, they're tethered, and they end up like, I guess, slinging themselves back onto the roof somehow.
Well, they flip around.
Yeah,
and
well,
somehow
and none of the shrapnel hits them.
No,
of
well,
course.
so like they come back down onto the roof while just I don't know what has exploded behind them, but it is the most shrapnel ever coming at them. And then they run and jump off the side of the building and die hard down through a window.
Yeah, and there's practically a fucking waterfall coming off of that roof
Yeah.
as well.
I was gonna say it's not even. I don't know that it's through a window. It's just literally like
Or
the
an
edge,
opening
the
or-
edge of the building, and they just they like perfect, like the same amount of cable that suspended them just far enough off of this was the perfect amount to also like pendulum them down to the ground, and they just kind of swing through the waterfall, and they're like, we're fine.
Yay.
But they never meet up with Ryan Quanten at this point. Like they don't
No.
really. They're just like, well, hope he's okay.
They go back to his business.
I know, but like.
But they think that's where he's going to go. They don't have time to search the mall for him.
saying,
For all they know, he's fucking on his way to the sun.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like they're they're awfully sure that he's fine, despite the craziness that they just did that killed all of the deputies.
They are definitely not concerned. Will is just like
He's fine.
They know he's okay.
he'll turn up. He's
Yeah.
a breeze, you know. So they just this is when they go back to they go back to Breeze's office basically to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I don't know.
He does find the one gun that was his dad's and
Yeah.
gives it to her, and
He's like, oh, a Browning. And then they brand talk a bunch of peanut butter and jelly at each other while they're eating their sandwiches.
Jif, Skippy, and Smucker's Strawberry.
So,
With a name like Smucker's, it has to be good.
Yeah.
The BMFcast, brought to you by Smucker's.
oh, this product placement has taken me right out of the
Yeah,
podcast.
it really does.
it does.
Shut up, you mother Smuckers.
So
Smuckers.
But yes, she fucking goes to town on her sandwich.
she does, yeah.
She does take the largest bite that I've
Yeah.
ever seen a human take out of a triangle
She
of
was
sandwich.
hungry.
Yeah.
She hadn't eaten all day. So then she's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build a car bomb. We're gonna blow their shit up. And we're gonna go down to Ace Hardware and we're gonna fill it up with all the Timothy McVeigh shit and we're gonna just blow it up. And he's like, that's great, but you need a car to put it in. And she's like, yeah, a really waterproof car with a good electrical system in it. He's leaning on his car during all this, and she's like, where are you gonna find a car like that? And she's like, behind you, dumbass. And he's like,
Dominator?
no,
No.
no. Let me think about it. No.
No, it's government property,
Yeah.
Dominator property.
And then just cut to them at the hardware store loading up the car with
They're not
fertilizer
even in a
and shit.
hardware store. They're in some shipping containers.
They're at a nursery that is made
Yeah.
out of shipping containers.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And it's also
It was built in Belarus.
nicer outside for some reason.
Yeah.
Like there's a glass ceiling in here too that is not.
What are you trying to say, Chuck?
Don't aim.
Isn't it
don't-
becoming the Eye? And they're like, oh my god, they're going to leave during the Eye.
Not yet. They had
That's not when that
no,
conversation
this
started to happen?
Well, it was when the conversation started happening, but they were not in it.
Okay.
It's just for some reason this part is calm.
That's right, because the storm surge.
Yeah,
comes
because
in.
then you like while they're doing this, while they're rummaging around, you see like a shipping boat.
Ship.
Yes.
A cargo ship, perhaps.
Get knocked into the pier, and the storm surge cart starts coming into town. And you're like, okay, well that was a fun special effect. What was that for? But then like more dudes have shown up to get them out of this nursery or wherever they are, and they're just like, hold on, and then you could just see the storm surge coming behind them where the bad guys are, and it just breaks through the windows and murders them all. And then it blows Will and I keep wanting to say Will and Grace, Will and Maggie Grace
I mean, it's accurate.
out of the back of the shipping container, just launches them. I don't know where, but they just two CGI people just fly out of this thing.
Yeah. She ends up like on some sort of makeshift raft thing,
Yeah.
and then just like basically floats right over to the bad dude,
Yeah,
Perkins. And then he like
Will floats over to the Dominator.
Well, yeah, it's so weird because like he's on like a full size tree just floating down this sort of river, and then just like, oh hey, it's Dominator, and starts climbing up, and then like the tree pins him, and like in any other movie this would be like, oh god, I'm dead, my legs are broken, but he's just like, yeah, full size tree, that's nothing, I'll just kick that off.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It would be the scene where like the tree has impinged on the Dominator and the water level is rising.
Right.
He's like, I can't get away. I'm going to drown.
Not in this movie. It's just like, tree, get
Yeah.
out of here.
Well, because then his brother rolls up in a boat. Like, hey, brother,
Hey, Romano.
Hey, brother.
get in here. And yeah, so forget the whole plot about the car bomb.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Nope.
Nope.
No, he
Washed
he-
away.
He boats them back to their hideout, and he's just like, man, desperate times call for desperate measures, and just opens up a secret wall, and he's got an arsenal back there.
Yeah.
And
He's like, what? I'm from Alabama.
Yeah.
Durr.
so at this point, Maggie Grace has opened up the vault. They have the money. They're loading it up. They shoot the guy that they said they weren't going to shoot. First,
Yeah.
they threatened to shred him.
Yes.
Because she was like, I'm not going to give you the codes. And then they threaten to shred him, and she's like, okay, I'll give you the codes.
Right. And then
And
they
then,
shoot him.
then they like tap, 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 here's the iPad I hid, and we're in the vault, and hallelujah, and all this stuff. And then they just shoot that dude, and she's like, why? And she's like, I'm probably gonna shoot you too soon, so
yeah.
shut up.
You killed my lady friend.
Yeah, but they're on
She
the roof.
vows to kill him.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're on the roof, and they're watching them. And they're like, what do you say we head him off at such and such farm? And
Yeah.
they're like, all right, let's do it.
They are now in the eye of the hurricane.
Yes.
Like it has gotten
Yes.
nice outside and calm.
And they're taking the tow truck.
Yes.
And so yeah, they are speeding up behind the last truck, which happens to be driven by the hacker couple, who are looking in the rearview mirror going, that eye wall looks like it's about to murder us, and they're like, Perkins is like, that's why I put you in back. Ha 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 ha.
Yes, because the eye wall is behind them, fucking everything up. It is ground level destruction.
Yeah.
It is just eating everything. It's like a scene from The Mummy. It is just,
It is.
sandstorm coming at them, destroying everything in its path. So,
And the hacker couple decides that this is the perfect time to get frisky. Like, your life is on the line, you're escaping from
a hurricane.
And
You have a
you're
truck
driving
with
an 18-wheeler.
$200 million in it.
So, yeah, why don't we do some road fucking?
Yeah.
Good idea.
You needed a reason for them to never see what was going on behind them.
True.
So, because what's going on behind them is equally bizarre. Their plan is basically, okay, Breeze is going to drive up close to the truck as possible. Will's going to jump out, Fast and Furious style, and jump onto the back of the truck. And then he's just going to let the truck go and also get out and do the same thing.
Apparently, this is a truck that doesn't have cruise control or a crowbar, anything to jam the pedal.
He just stops driving it and gets out. And then through some sort of wire-foo CG bullshit, he manages to jump this ridiculous space.
It's a bad match cut. It like the way they morph it is bad because he jumps and he falls like 3 feet short
Yeah.
and just kind of like whoop
Yeah.
warps over to
kinda-
where he's supposed to be.
Yes.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it's bad, but there's a lot of other bad CG going on in this movie.
I don't know. That might be the worst looking thing in the movie.
It is.
The storm stuff
Yeah, it
all
is.
looks fine.
I don't know.
It's implausible bullshit, but it looks okay.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
We're about to get to what I think is even worse CG in just a second, but
Oh, but it's so good.
all right. So yeah, they're now on the back of the rear truck of the three.
I like that Breeze is like, hey, we did it. And he's like, we didn't do anything. We're just on the top of this truck. That's the most easiest part of this plan.
So they like Will has opted not to take a weapon because he's like, no, I don't know how to.
I'm a doctor of science.
I'm a doctor of weather. Yeah, they call me Doctor Weather. But he jumps down first, and it's just like, hey, hacker couple are fucking. What's up?
Yeah.
And then they're like, what? And kind of like start to like react and do something, and then
Breeze is on
Breeze
the
is
other
on the other
side.
side and shoots the hacker dude in the arm.
Yep.
To which he's kind of gives a Dracula 3000 of like, this hurts a lot.
Yep. And she's like, oh my God, what'd you do to him? And then they both bust in and are just like, get in the back and shut up. Yeah. And then so Will is then just like, you got this? Okay, sweet. And then he gets back out and Breeze pulls this truck up to the back of the second truck. And Will jumps out and jumps on top of that truck. And
But this is the one Maggie Grace is in.
Yes.
With-
Along with
with-
the brother dude who's
With
pissed
the
off.
pissed
at her.
off brother,
Pissed off
and
brother.
then one of the cops who's just like, man, just keep it together.
yeah, like the only remaining cop.
Yeah.
So the brother's just giving her shit. Like just how, I'm gonna murder you
Yeah,
so
no
hard.
matter what
Yeah, I
Perkins
don't-
says, I'm going to murder you when this is all over.
And she is giving it right back. Like, I appreciate everything about her character in this is that she is capable in everything that she's doing.
Except for Utah. Whatever that was.
We never really get an explanation.
we don't.
Just someone died in Utah. A decision was made and people died.
She was guarding the door at Walmart on Black Friday.
Oh,
Too soon.
Is it?
Too soon.
I don't know.
we're having all kinds of hurricane fun here. That's too soon also.
It is, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah. But anyway, she's basically like, hey, does anyone tell you got a problem with women? You know? And he's like, fuck you, and
Slaps her,
Basically-
and then she's like, see?
yeah, I told you.
Yeah. So they're just going at it back and forth with each other, and the cop guy's just like, hey, guys.
Oh, they're now full on fighting
Yeah.
in like the
Yeah.
sleeper part of the truck.
Yeah.
To which the cop dude's just like, hey. So doesn't notice that Will is, or is who? Yeah, I guess it is Will.
Yeah, Will's
Yeah.
hanging onto the side. He hasn't quite gotten up to the door yet. The problem is that during their tussle, the dude shoots the driver.
Yeah.
So
Like machine guns the driver.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the driver's dead, and this car the truck just veers off the road, going towards, I don't know what the hell this is. It just looks like a giant wall.
Giant Bosnian silos.
Okay.
Belarusian silo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is just going full speed towards whatever that is. And Will is trying to get in, and she's still fighting with that dude.
He jumps in and takes the place of the driver.
Yes. Well, they are still fighting in the
Well,
back.
yeah,
And
he's like hard turning to not hit this silo thing.
Yeah, and he's just driving along. He's like, just hang on.
Yeah. And they're scraping this wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really good. Actually, I really liked all those shots. At some point, the magazine has come out of this gun. It's a weird. It's called a P90. It's got the magazine on the top. So the magazine has come off the top, and like at some point she like stabbed him in the neck with it or something, and so they've been scuffling and trying to get everything sorted. So Willie, I seem to think it was Willie. Was it Willie?
This is
Will.
Will.
Was it Will?
Yeah.
I thought they called him Willie the whole fucking movie.
Nope.
So Will is manhandling this 18-wheeler and finally gets it like headed back towards the road, and he tells Maggie Grace, you got me on the Will and Grace thing.
Sorry.
He's like, hold on, we're
He's just like, hold on, are you ready? Or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, they hit like just a little.
And they hit a little like 2-foot ramp.
Yeah.
And
Just a
it
little hill.
launches this 18-wheeler into the air, and we get a nice slow-mo shot of the magazine leaping up off the floor, and the bad guy bounces up as well, and she grabs the magazine, jams it into the gun, and just unloads on the dude. It is...
Doesn't she also prop him up with her feet?
Yes.
Like,
Did
Yep.
you?
yeah, like as he's
Yeah.
starting to come back down, she is making sure that he is up there, and then
just-
machine guns him to death.
Fucking
so good.
brilliant.
Yep.
It's so good.
I don't know how they did that shot, and I want to watch it again and again.
Yep.
Yeah. But so they've got a truck.
Breeze has a truck
Breeze has a truck.
with the two hackers in the back.
Yep. And now they're just coming after Ralph Ineson.
Yes.
And they again, this is the closest it ever makes sense because again they call some football bullshit.
Yep.
They're like they switch positions of the trucks, and then like they're going to do this whole thing where they run up alongside him and keep forcing him back until they're in front of him and they're just blocking the road.
Yeah.
And they're just
And slowing down so that the eye wall can catch him.
Yeah. And again, this is the runway from the end of Fast 6. This straight stretch of highway is just it goes on forever.
But it's also
to be fair, that's not completely unfathomable
It's-
in
yeah.
Alabama.
It's not, but
Yeah.
also yeah.
But it's also like people like
Have you ever been on I-16?
Yeah. But when they want to get away, they suddenly shift up a gear, and it's like, wait a minute, how did you find another gear? Like,
Yeah.
you should be going flat out. You're trying to outrun this hurricane.
Well, all the Fast and Furious movies do this too. There's always a secret. You just jam it back, and
Yeah,
then all of
you've-
a sudden
you've
you've
been
got
holding
warp
back.
drive.
It makes
But then
more
for some
sense in
reason
an
you can do it
18-wheeler, though.
again. It's just you
But
go
either
into
way.
12th gear.
They have that many. There's at least that many years, if not more.
Well, then why hadn't they maxed it out
They
yet?
should have been in 12th
They're
gear.
trying to outrun
The eye wall is
goddamn
coming
hurricane.
to kill them.
Yes. I would be flooring it and then shifting up a gear every time.
But anyway, yes, the eye wall catches up and picks his truck. Well, first it opens his truck up to which he's like, "No, my money!"
It snatches all the money out
Yeah.
of the back. That was a nice shot.
Yeah, and then it just picks the whole damn truck up and.
Well, it
I'm
picks
sorry.
the
Picks
trailer
yeah,
up.
picks the
It picks
trailer
the
up off the
trailer
truck, and he's driving along and still crying. And then, yeah, completely straight drops the trailer on him vertically, crushing the truck and him.
I just love
the
that there's
fucking truck
this-
explodes.
Yeah, there's a shot from underneath the truck where you see him kind of leaning out the window, and you see the trailer in the air coming down,
Yep.
and then smash cut to the whole thing hitting him and just exploding everywhere, and smash cut to all of us cheering.
It's so dumb and so good.
What
Yeah.
I was going to say is, yeah, the CG on this is all a little bit suspect. The CG on the trucks before it even gets crazy is also really bad.
Oh yeah.
Like, but I will say the sound design saved it.
Oh
Yeah.
sure.
Because like there are shots where it's just like the camera is panning under the trucks for no reason whatsoever, but the sound is really well done.
yeah.
But like I was like, all right, I will buy your kind of shitty CG trucks because the
Yeah.
sound is so good.
Yeah.
It's funny because these trucks are all just like one green color. They're like green
They're
screen
matte
trucks.
green.
Yeah.
You know, like the color of the old GI Joe toys. Like the first run
Yeah.
of they're just green. That's all they are.
Like you didn't put any stickers on them.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And it was just like, were you going to like put some CG on these trucks because that's the color they are. It's
Yeah.
but whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It's like if
anyway.
you were watching like the layer after a wireframe model of the CG,
Yeah.
you just color them green, and it's just like, okay, you
Plain
guys,
green army trucks.
I guess.
But Breeze's truck starts dying for whatever reason.
Well,
Debris,
they
I
had
don't
been
know.
smashing
They had been.
Perkins' truck because they had whatever Red 42 Hut Hike means is you just go serpentine and then you crash
and then
into
you
each
fuck up
other.
your truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they've
they're
gotta
like-
get him out of there.
They're like, get over here. So once again, because Rob Cohen loves people jumping between cars on
Yes.
freeways, now
Yep.
he has to jump over to the other car.
Yeah.
And again, barely sort of kind of makes it. And,
And then he tries to help the hacker people get over.
Yeah.
Or at least the girl.
well,
The girl was first.
he's just like, come on, and they don't make it.
No, the
Yeah, they
hurricane
get
eats
sucked up
them.
into the hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this, they look back while this is happening, although this, they hit like 13th gear. They're like, go, floor it, do the thing. And so they look in the rearview mirror and you see the skull form in the clouds again.
Yes.
Like, this is the same fucking hurricane or something. Like, I told you I'd be back, But then, like, the skull hangs out so long that it just kind of dissipates into nothing. And then the hurricane is just like, get out of here, you crazy kids.
Yes. The hurricane becomes a U. The eye of the storm is no longer a circle. It's
No.
a U.
Yeah.
And they're reaching the open part
Yes.
of the U.
They have reached the part where there's no hurricane, it is just
Yes.
freedom.
Yeah,
Well, that's
it's
all right.
just-
Will also went to Hurricane U.
Yep. And so they're free.
That's the sequel to Hurricane High.
They're free to ride to Pensacola.
Yes, they are on their way
Why are you driving to Pensacola?
to the wonderful
Yeah.
smells of Pensacola, Florida.
They're
Pensacola's
ride the wings of
delightful.
glory.
Don't listen to
in
BJ.
Pensacola.
Because Maggie Grace is like, well, we're alive and we've got $200 million in this truck, huh? Who wants to turn around and go to Mexico? And both, like, Breeze is like, fuck yeah. And Will's like,
Yeah.
that sounds like a bad idea, but I could maybe go for it. And she's like, the fuck, you guys? I'm messing with you. And they're like, you,
Yeah.
Pensacola, let's go.
Don't do it.
They're going.
Turn around and drive back into the hurricane. Don't go to Pensacola.
I just like the idea of them trying to drive in the eye for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
Or until the storm dissipates.
Right.
Just be like,
Just keep flooring it. It's coming.
yeah, left.
Well, they
Turn
did
left.
say that as soon as it made a turn, it would loosen up. It would
Yeah, it would just-
destabilize.
it would
It would dissipate.
Yeah. But
Not
apparently,
that storm.
No.
Not a storm like that.
Storm of the centuries.
Yeah. But
Hurricane
yes, they
Tammy.
made it out.
Yeah,
For the record.
Tammy with an eye.
the end.
The end of the hurricane heist.
Yeah. It's real dumb.
It is.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Boy is it.
It's real dumb, but it's a good dumb.
Yeah. Overall, I would say, yeah, it's a good dumb.
Yeah. Any-
Would you put a number on it? On that good dumb?
Sure. I'll put a 3 on it.
All right.
3 jocks. It's got 5 or 6 things in it that we all physically cheered, like out loud, fist pumping, clapping, cheering
Yep.
for in this movie. I don't necessarily mind some of the cheapness of this. It looks surprisingly okay. I thought it was going to look a lot worse than it did. Like, there are shots in this movie where I'm like, how are you doing this? Like, the flooding of the town and everything. I'm like, what storm were you filming this in? It's just, but it all also looks digital to a point where you're just like, okay, you're just in some tank somewhere. So, my only real problem with this movie is that, so there, obviously you can't just have nonstop chaos happening all the time. And so there's going to be scenes of downtime. I think the story bits of the downtime are fine. I think the dialogue is bad. I think the dialogue is like first pass dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's so disinteresting that you just immediately just want to take a nap. It's like, I get where the scene is going, but no one's going to say anything entertaining here. I guarantee it. It's all just going to be surface level, just, yeah, I got a lot of guns because I live in Alabama, and it's like, okay, you're not really saying anything with that line.
Yeah.
So it never really goes for it. Like, the bad guy freaks out a little bit, but never enough, and never sustained, and it's also never explained why he's doing this. It's just,
Aside from he wants the money.
yeah, everything's just very surface level. And it just, if it had another pass of just like, okay, let's beef up the sections where none of the crazy shit is happening and just make that slightly entertaining, it would have been better. But as it stands, as far as good bad movies go, it's got some real good bad moments in it. So 3 jocks.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go. Sort of, yes. I mean, there are a lot of parts of the script that needed some punching up, but yet there are things in there that I totally appreciate, as we mentioned, like the fact that people stop to use the bathroom and eat and
Yeah.
do normal human things. And also sometimes occasionally saying the most obvious thing instead of like, I've got to do cool guy movie thing, like, why are all the bullets gone? Because I shot them all. Like,
Yeah.
There. I think there are some good lines in it. It's just some of the other is a little stupid. And I don't think we even mentioned the really dumb line that the hackers say.
No, we didn't.
There's
Oh
like,
my God.
I don't even know how to properly. It was something like we got to put a spike in the monitor to prevent a wormhole or something like that.
Gotta spike the wormhole in the monitor to upload the tendril activated nodules.
The words monitor and wormhole are
And
said
spike.
And
to-
spike.
Yeah, but those two words are definitely said together to end a sentence, and I was just like, wait, hold on. What the fuck did you just say?
There was some real gobbledygook weather speak and
Yeah.
hacker speak.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. I'm still going to give it 3 jocks because I think the movie on a whole is probably closer to a 2 jock movie. But that just for originality, I've never seen a thing like the bump and shoot, the hitting the ramp and shooting
Yep.
thing. Like that is a jocksworthy, extra jocksworthy moment. Because like whenever a movie just does something that's like, fuck, I've never seen that in another movie. Good on you. Like, and plus like,
Somebody had a vision. It was like,
yeah, this
we're
scene.
doing this.
Also, like, I mean, I think I've been multiple times. I've possibly, and I don't know if it's ever come up on here, but I'm generally anti Maggie Grace for most things because, especially, it started with Lost. It was just like, wow, how annoying and damselly can you be? Like
She was a
Shannon.
bad character.
Shannon was like completely worthless on Lost.
Yes.
And so it soured me to her for the most part. I'm coming around on her, it's like she's getting better and I like her in this role. I like, she's not damselly at all in this and I buy it and I like it.
Yeah.
So like I've badmouthed her before, so I just wanted to take a second to say she's good in this.
Good on you.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I enjoyed this more than you guys because this is 4 jocks for me. There's a lot of great moments in this movie.
I did not enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think
the
was
lulls are super lully.
I was expecting. I was honestly expecting a
lulls?
5 to show up, and
Yeah.
I was like afraid. I was like I'm going to be the low one going with a 4, but I guess not. But I mean, this was a hell of a lot of fun, and we cheered a lot.
yeah.
But yeah, it did need another pass to punch up some of the dialogue because there are good ideas going on in there, but so much of it just ends up boiled down to the same old shit that you've seen a billion other places. But I will say, like, I am not a fan of Rob Cohen at all, but this might be my favorite Rob Cohen movie. Because, like, I think Triple X sucks because of him. I think, the original Fast and Furious sucks because of him. And there's a lot less Rob Cohen-ness in this movie than I was expecting.
That's what I'm going more Bulgaria.
Yeah. Yes. And maybe it's Shelley Johnson shooting it, Dude shot Captain America First Avenger, so
Oh,
That helps.
Really?
Wow.
Man.
yep. Yeah, went to Expendables 2 and then it's all downhill from there.
So he just couldn't get out of Bulgaria.
Apparently not.
It is wild how people work in
I know.
the film industry. It's just insane how people show up in things.
Yeah, like how the director of the 00 Kid, or no, the director of Fast Getaway is now the stunt coordinator for all the Marvel movies. It's like,
Yeah.
how? What?
Yep.
I cannot believe that a movie looks as awesome as this does for $35 million. And I know that is a shitload of money. Like, that is a stupid amount of money for 99% of the people on the planet. 99.9% of the people on the planet. But for a movie, it's not a lot of money. You can spend $35 million in a weekend on a movie almost.
Okay, so our last movie shot in Bulgaria was Security, the Antonio Banderas movie that was
Okay.
entirely in the mall. That cost
Yeah.
$15 million. Wow. And that movie is just a mall that doesn't resemble a human mall in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
But it taught us about Smeg.
It did. It
Yes.
introduced us to the smeg.
Did. So yeah, like $35 million is like that's less than some single actor's salaries for a single movie. And
I don't know that anyone's ever quite been paid that much. Maybe
Not up
with-
front.
Yeah, not up front. Maybe with
Yeah.
like residuals.
With some
but yes.
points.
well, you
Yes,
get the point.
I
Like
know,
it's
I know,
close
I know,
to
yes.
how much you would pay one actor for a single movie in some circumstances. But this entire well shot, pretty decent CG'd, decently acted movie happened for that much. I'm just blown away that yes that's even possible.
It looks good.
But then it turns out it's actually pretty fucking awesome. I saw a trailer before something I saw. Maybe it was a Star Wars or something. And I was like, oh, man, this is going to be garbage. Like, the guy next to me in the theater was just laughing out loud at the trailer. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to be...
Well, it's because they play Rock You Like a Hurricane during it.
Yeah.
Not in the movie.
Boo.
Yeah.
Minus points.
Yeah, exactly.
But this turned out to be quite a bit of fun. Way more than I was expecting, and I will agree with Mr. Mackey in that it is a Four Jocks movie. Good call, sir. The stupid fucking skulls in the hurricanes are ridiculous, and they have no place in the movie that has no supernatural or the storm is chasing you elements.
Haunting you in no
But-
way. Yeah.
But I love them for some reason.
To be fair, I think Will's the only one that sees them.
Yeah.
So
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
maybe they weren't even skulls at all. They were actually like, Doctor Doom masks.
Sure, sure.
Yes.
They were doctoral masks.
No, he was Doctor Doom in that shitty Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't remember that.
All right, so
Yeah, I was just taken aback. So much of this was done right, and they did a smart thing by getting rid of all the fucking hick townspeople and not having to deal with all of that. They kept it to a relatively small cast. I mean, there's still probably too many people in this movie, but
Yeah. Think about that. That's good because there's not a lot of innocent people in peril kind of thing going on.
Right.
And that would have been a hard sell for a movie like this
Right.
because you just don't have the stomach for it anymore.
right. So it worked a lot of, and there are a lot of what at least looked like practical effects. Like there were definitely a lot of practical things in this movie, but there was stuff that I was like, I don't really know if that's CG or not. I can't tell, and that's a good thing. Like if you're not able to do it practical, if you can do it CG well enough that I'm not sure, go for it, and good results. So hooray for Bulgaria or Belarus or whichever Eastern European country that sounds like that is making all of these movies.
Yeah.
You're turning it around, maybe.
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 This movie is better than Chuck Fine.
Absolutely.
it is Bulgaria. I checked filming.
Okay.
Bulgaria. Well, let's take a break, shall we?
Wokie dokie.
Duh.
It also may have been filmed in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
We may never know.
Filmed
Yeah.
in a Jacksonville. We can't
It
confirm that.
just, I think they made that up.
It was a lie.
I think there's probably a different city credit depending on where you rent the disc from. The movie just knows. It's network connected.
Right.
Just for comparison,
Live.
the first Fast and the Furious movie cost $38 million.
Wow.
Sounds about right.
Wow.
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 Does anybody have any movies?
I saw Deadpool Deuce.
I have a movie I can.
You saw Solo.
I saw the Solo.
I have a movie I can talk about if there's time, but I can table it if there's not.
We got 45 minutes.
I know. I'm just.
and
you
we're
know.
not going to do emails, so.
Okay. Then I will talk about my film, Mystery Men.
Oh. Mysterious Men.
Mystery Men.
Okay.
Yes. Mystery Men.
You've never seen Mystery Men?
I saw Mystery Men in the theater.
Do we want to talk about shooting a film this weekend? No. Are you still tired?
I'm still tired.
Me too.
Hey, people showed up in the chat, kind of. Okay.
Boop-a-doobie-doobie-pow. Shoo-ba-doo-pow. Mm-hmm.
Been running.
Get done
Running through your
running.
mind.
No, I'm actually like I want to look up other things Maggie Grace has been in. Like, has she been action lady in anything else? Because I might like this Maggie Grace.
Taken.
Did she turn action lady in that eventually?
She threw grenades.
Taken 2.
And allowed Liam
I
Neeson to
honestly never watched any.
geolocate himself.
I never watched anything but the first one.
Taken
so.
3.
I have not seen Taken 3, but I have heard it was not good. And if Taken 2 is anything to be an example,
Is Taken 3 the one where they use like 125 shots to get him over a fence? There's some clip
I
I've
think
seen
so.
someone of some Liam Neeson movie where it's like they use 125 cuts in the scene to get him over a fence.
it might be that one. I think it was that.
Oh, she is in that Faster the Rock movie that I never saw.
That's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I even own the Blu-ray. I just
Yeah.
haven't actually watched it.
I don't remember
It's
her in
sitting-
Night and Day, but
What I saw of her
really
in Fear the
like-
Walking Dead I liked, but Fear the Walking Dead's a bad show, so I didn't watch
It
it.
is. It's a bad television show.
Yeah,
That was bad television.
That's not
it
good.
is.
So is The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
They can both fuck off.
But yeah, she and Ryan
That's fine.
Quanten are now about to be in a movie called, or possibly already are in a movie called Supercon.
Supercon.
SuperCon. I'd go to that convention.
Well, that's actually the plot. A ragtag group of former TV stars and comic book artists who make their living working at conventions decide to steal the loot from a crooked promoter.
Oh, Clancy Brown, John Malkovich. I would watch this movie.
Mm.
Yeah, not super well rated so far.
Ooh, she was on
Is it-
Masters of Sex.
Ooh. And Californication.
I would have seen her in that because I've seen that entire show. That show ended one season too late.
Oh, she was in Lockout with Guy Pearce.
Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
was. Yeah, she was kind of
right.
actiony
Escape
in
from
that.
New York / Space.
Yeah.
she was kind of actiony in that one.
Man.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That
Wait.
movie was dumb.
Wait, she was in Night and Day also?
Yep.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I don't remember who she was.
I don't remember her in that movie,
I
but that's a good movie.
think she was Tom Cruise's girlfriend.
There was that weird time period where they were like, "Hey, she's 14 now." Still,
Yeah.
I mean, they were doing that for a long time. I mean, Taken, she was probably 25.
Yeah. Let's see, when was the original Taken? Taken was 2008. Yes, you are correct. She was 25 years old.
Yeah, and then they were playing her like she was 14.
Yeah.
They were going the 90210 style on her teenhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Chuck.
Chuck.
Nope, nope.
Chuck.
What? Oh, sorry. You're right. I
You're gonna have the wrong Walsh coming.
I
after you.
realize how that sounds. She's in this Schwarzenegger movie I've never heard of.
Which one?
Aftermath.
Aftermath. Aftermath.
Mm.
What is this aftermath?
She's definitely one of those who's gotten better looking as she's gotten older, I think. I mean, she's always been really, really good looking, but I think she looks like even better now than she did before.
Well, like I said, it was a little hard to get over just how awful she was on Lost.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hurdle. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not entirely her fault. She
Yeah,
was
and-
like one of the worst written characters in
Yeah,
television.
like when you
ever.
cheer her death on that show,
Yeah.
it's like, oh man.
Yeah, and trying to like make her and Saeed a thing too was just
Yeah.
like, you two have no chemistry whatsoever.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd forgotten about that, hadn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's like the thing at they're together at the end, aren't they? And
I think
it was like
so.
Saeed, that girl that you've been flashing back to this entire time was not your one true love. It's actually Maggie Grace.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wait, no, they were together for like half a second, and then Maggie Grace died.
Yeah. Lost did a lot of dumb things.
I still like Lost a lot,
Yeah.
but
Still did a lot of dumb stuff.
If I hadn't switched jobs, I probably would consider rewatching Lost.
I'm also
But, like in doing the marathons I used to be able to do when I had a job that I could do that. But now I can't even check Twitter.
There's
and
so
my
many
life
other
is
things
better.
there's so many other things I'd rather like. I've been thinking about Buffy / Angel rewatch lately.
Man, I want to do that so bad.
I know.
I'll say that watching Westworld has made me mentally reappreciate Lost.
Really?
Because
I'm sorry, I missed the first part of this.
They've done
watching Westworld.
Oh.
They've done Lost-ish things this season.
They have, but Lost did a better job at explaining either what the fuck was going on or giving it enough room to where you can go, oh, this is cool. I wonder what's happening. Westworld is just go, and it's like, this doesn't make sense, and they're like, don't worry about it. Next scene.
I didn't get to watch Sundays because Comcast can't authenticate HBO Go anymore.
I had that problem with Stars. DirecTV could no longer authenticate Stars. And it was like your
HBO
cable
Go
package doesn't...
Yeah, HBO Go says, like, if I log in, I look, it says, or Comcast, I log in, it says, oh, yeah, you got HBO, you're good to go. And when you do the authentication thing, HBO.com/activate,
Yep.
it makes you log into Comcast, and then Comcast goes, hey, do you want to subscribe to HBO? And it will never re-authenticate back to the HBO Go servers.
Yep.
So Jen is like, are you going to fix this or what? I'm missing Westworld. And they're, and I had to DM their customer service on Twitter, and then finally got them to write back, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's a known issue. We're working on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that doesn't help. I got an angry woman here, all right?
You don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's do a thing. Second half. What do you say?
I say yes.
What you say?
That's one of the greatest dumb sketches of all time.
Is it? I don't know why it's funny.
Really?
But it is.
Because it's making fun of the OC thing.
I know, but it's... I don't know.
It's funny because it is.
Yeah.
It's like one of the first total nonsense things they did.
But did you ever watch the real scene? I
Yeah,
never watched
yes.
the OC, but I mean, like, when I was like, oh, that's based on a thing?
Yeah.
And that guy getting shot, it comes so fucking out of nowhere.
What sketch are you talking about?
The Lonely Island thing where it's just like...
It's just them shooting each other.
Yeah.
What you say?
I don't remember that one.
Out of context, it is so, like, what the fuck are you doing, Saturday Night
It's
Live?
bizarre, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's
Yep. I'm all about the bizarre. Let's do this. All right, and welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast, second half number 2 of 2. We're doing it to you.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, catch us on the flip-flop.
Yeah. Traffic on the 5s.
On the ones and twos.
Drop that vinyl. Stacks of wax.
Okay. We want to talk about movies, not stacks of wax.
You have the most recent one.
I guess I do.
I have the second most recent.
You probably seen it or seen it twice or sick of people talking about it, but we didn't record last week, so I have to talk about Solo.
Yeah.
Solo,
a Star Wars story.
You being the 25% of us who have seen Solo represents what's happened to that movie at the box office.
Okay.
Yeah.
It did not
made
make
its
a lot of money.
money
Hasn't yet.
It's really?
Yeah.
Overall, I'm sure it has worldwide.
Nope.
What?
Hasn't.
Okay.
I don't put a lot of stock in that. that's the story of Solo so far, is that it's the first Star Wars movie that hasn't made its money back.
If The Last Jedi hadn't sucked, maybe people would have watched this one.
I like this character.
Yeah. That's every fucking Star Wars asshole on the internet these days.
Cool. Fantastic.
Make me embarrassed to be a fan of the series.
I've stopped. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I at this point, I just like, yeah, Star Wars is just cool. Seriously, I'm not even a fan anymore.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't.
They're movies.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's
You can
cool.
watch it.
Yeah, some of them are good.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
so-
remain a fan and try to be a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
How
So-
how is Solo?
so I will say,
Hello.
out of anything Star Wars since the prequels, and probably the prequels included, this is probably the one going into it I cared so little about. Like, I didn't need to see this movie. Like, I mean, it was made, so I might as well see it. But like going in, this was the one I was just like, huh, that seems like something that just doesn't need to be told. Not necessary. I really like this movie. Like, I thought this movie was great. Maybe it had something to do with like setting or having basically no expectations. Just kind of like, yeah, I'll go see it. Ron Howard makes all right movies.
He does.
So this might be okay. I would say this is kind of like X-Men First Class for me, in that I think it is about 90% perfect.
Nope.
I had absolutely no problem with the dude they cast. I don't even remember his name, but the young Han Solo, like when I first saw him, I was like, well, he doesn't look anything like Harrison Ford. He doesn't sound like anything like Harrison Ford. I thought he was fine when I was watching the movie. It was just like, all right, yeah, cool. He's young Han Solo. Let's go with it. You know, it's just one of those things like you can't capture lightning in a bottle. You can't always like hire someone who looks exactly like like how they found the Mon Mothma person for Rogue One. I don't know. Like that is freaky, but also like it's weird that they captured that lightning in the bottle because who cares? It's fucking Mon Mothma. Like that one. That's the one that was like, why did you do so good with this?
Yeah.
Like
But like that's just a person in the background.
Yeah. But this, like, I liked everything about this except I mean, I don't like the L3 character, the droid. It's the only thing I feel like that was the Lego Movie guys thing, Lord and Miller. Is that I feel like that was something that was in their pass at it, and they kept it in for some reason. Is just because it feels so out of place to the rest of it, or it's something they came in and shoehorned in later. Like I can't figure out. It's just it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit tonally. The vocalization of the character is like way too sassy for a droid. Like I mean, I know C-3PO is sassy. This is just like it doesn't work on multiple levels because one, the person that I don't remember the name of the lady that voices her, and I'm saying her because it's a robot, but it sounds too much like Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah.
So like that right off the bat is like throws you off because it already sounds like a Star Wars character.
Yeah.
And then it's just there's so much wrong with it. Like it just doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right. It's like why are droids this sassy? You know, because like you're looking at this middle chapter in Star Wars. It's like, well, they weren't sassy back here,
Hey,
and they're not sassy. You know, like when was this weird like dip in sassiness in robots?
Yeah.
Plus, there's just like
Robot sass.
I kind of get that like it's been something that like nerds sit around and joke about, like how droids are oppressed in the Star Wars mythos, but like then they kind of take that character as like robot rights, you know, and it's just like, yeah, okay, that was a thing that was kind of funny when nerds sat around and pointed out that, but like to see it in a movie was like, that's really dumb. Like I don't know, it's just everything about that character is like, if you erase that out of existence out of the movie, I think this movie was like almost completely perfect. It's a fun space romp. There are interesting but not dumb references. Like there's little things thrown out there that's like, oh wow, oh you're actually acknowledging that. Okay, like I'll go with it. And otherwise, it's fun. I mean, like Rogue One was fine when I was watching it, but like when you think about it at all, it's a mess and it's inconsequential. Like it's really a movie. Like when you're watching it, it's like, well, yeah, I knew how this had to end, and I just thought you might do something different. You know, like it literally goes exactly where you think it has to go watching it, and this one doesn't. Like this one has some surprises and things that I found interesting. So, yeah, I don't know how to rank it overall. Like this whole new Star Wars thing is really weird to me. Like I feel like you can't rank it among the regular numbered Star Wars movies because it's not the main story, because it doesn't even have like the Star Wars title fanfare and everything. It's like it just kind of starts its own way. But I still think it's really good. I mean, I think it's a shame that like this is where people decide to check out on Star Wars because they're missing one of the better ones. Like I like episodes 7 and 8 just fine. I know I'm in some kind of weird minority there, but like I think the weakest thing since the prequels is Rogue One. And I don't even think Rogue One is like bad. It's just it's real basic. There's a lot of dangling plot lines that don't go anywhere, and it doesn't have any surprises really. Whereas I feel like this one does, despite being characters that you know eventually what's got to happen to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean, it's cool because like there were things that I was like, I wonder if they're going to address this, and then they kind of do, and it still kind of plays out sort of like EU book versions of thinking about stuff. It's like it still works within preconceived notions, but still being unique. So I liked a lot of it. I liked it a whole lot.
I still want to see it. I just haven't had time.
Yeah, same here.
Same.
I had a choice the night Jen and I went to the movies. and I lost, and we went to see Deadpool 2.
Well, that's not a choice.
Yeah,
We-
it is.
I had a
it-
choice,
It
and
was
I
a choice
lost.
and you lost. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean that's not Deadpool 2. It's like Harlow said. It's more Deadpool. It's kind of it very much in terms of comic books reminds me of the way comic books now is like the first 6 issues are your first story arc, and that could be the first movie, and then it's like the second story arc is the next 5 or 6 issues, and it's always kind of a letdown. Like the second story arc is never as good as the first arc, and it's never like it's just kind of like, all right, we got the first big story out of the way, and now what do we do?
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of feels like that to me, where it's kind of like, here's more of what you wanted, but it's not as fresh, and it's just kind of, I don't know, feels almost inconsequential. It's like, all right, well, maybe we'll just set up for the next storyline type thing, and I mean, that's a complaint about so many Marvel movies and all that, but it's okay. I mean, it's an okay sequel to Deadpool. If you like Deadpool, you'll probably like this one, and it doesn't tonally feel that much different. You probably wouldn't even know that they switched directors if you were,
Other
not
than one
going
really good joke in the credits, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's I think less like the first one has so many unconventional things going on in it, and this one it feels way more of just a conventional. All right, here's your movie. Because I mean, well, I mean,
Well,
like,
it does. I mean,
well,
the first one feels like a weird, unique thing, like Logan. Like Logan is Logan's one of those movies. Reason why I said I like Batman Begins so much is like half the movie you're watching is like, fuck yeah, this is a Batman movie. Like the first Deadpool movie, there's long stretches where it's like you have to like snap yourself in. Like I'm watching a comic book movie because it feels different than the other things. It doesn't feel that formulaic thing. Now it feels like they've stepped into like they're not quite Marvel, they're not quite MCU, but they're better than DC. It's like it's just like that weird thing that Fox generally floats in with the rest of the X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is pretty good, but yeah, it's a comic book movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a few good recurring jokes, and it's just it's a solid, but it's not going to change anyone's mind about Deadpool.
Right.
But
well, except it apparently it is, because like that's the thing I've most read before it coming out. People being like, I didn't like Deadpool 1 at all, but I love Deadpool 2. And it's like, how? Like that's the one that is mind-boggling to me. I mean, you're allowed to do whatever, but that's weird because
it is
it's so very much. Hey, here's more of.
Yeah, I mean, I especially liked how the X-Force stuff plays out on their first mission. It's pretty great, and it's
And there's one joke that is a direct tie-in to an offhand line in the first one that is, I think, one of the funniest jokes in the movie. Early on, whatever.
we'll talk about
yeah.
it later. Yeah,
I would say
Yeah.
it's a direct tie-in joke to the first one, where it's like if you weren't paying good attention to the first one, you might even have missed the line.
yeah, but it's good enough. It sounds like faint backhanded damning praise, but I mean it doesn't let down the first one,
No.
but it's not anything special.
Yeah, I look forward to watching it again because it feels like one of those things that like they just tried to cram in even more hidden jokes and things like that. That
Yeah.
there's weird cameos and things like that.
Yeah, I yes, one of them in particular. But yeah, I appreciate their treatment of Shatterstar, who has always been a piece of shit that sucks. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. I have a movie that is remarkably similar to Deadpool 2 in a lot of ways.
okay,
Is it Deadpool 1?
No. So a lot of people were saying that. I hate that phrase. It came out like when Deadpool 2 was getting reviewed during its like first week. A lot of people had said that it wasn't. They were surprised that a scene in particular didn't get a reference because it seemed to be pulling from 1999's Mystery Men, which is the whole tryout scene. It's like, how come no one said, "Hey, we're doing the Mystery Men scene in Deadpool 2"? If you're making references, that's your reference.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. So, through a weird series of events, I ended up over the weekend renting and rewatching Mystery Men.
I'm interested in this weird series of events. You make it sound like, some sort of Goldbergian machinations that led you to
I was playing
watch-
Rock Band 4.
Okay.
All Star came on.
Okay.
I thought about the origins of that song, remembered it was from the Mystery Men soundtrack.
Correct.
Went looking for Mystery Men, rented Mystery Men, watched Mystery Men.
Okay. All right.
Literally, that was the last song I played in Rock Band, turned it off, went looking for Mystery Men. It wasn't just like a seed planted. It was
Why didn't you go rent Shrek instead?
So what you're saying is that somebody once told you.
Yep. It's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
That movie's a goddamn mess. What a
Yes.
catastrophic mess that movie is. It still somehow manages to be entertaining in a fascinating way. You just kind of look at it and go like, there's something to this, but there's something very wrong about it too. Like it's going for it but not going for it. It's almost good but not getting there, and I can't quite figure out why, because a lot of it works somehow. It's one of those weird movies that was directed by someone who never did anything before or after. They directed commercials, literally commercials. And then they got handed this $70 million motion picture. And then they decided, I don't want to ever do that again. And they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a strange thing. But
Like the casting being the strangest mishmash of things. Like,
the cast
There
is...
are so many people in that movie.
Yeah. It's one of those movies where it's like, okay, yeah, I get this. Most of these people are friends. But then it's also just this weird pairing of
like
people.
William H. Macy and
yeah.
Greg Kinnear and
Yes. It's...
Hank Azaria. Like, that don't really necessarily match in
Yeah,
there.
not
Eddie
in the
Izzard
same circles.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. But like Greg Kinnear is ridiculously amazing in his short period of time that he's in that movie. And it's amusing what happens to his character and how it's completely just written out. Like that happened, oh well. I don't know, it's just such a strange thing. And then it reminded me that Claire Forlani exists, and I'm like, I really like Claire Forlani. I wish she was in more movies. I miss Claire Forlani. She had a big 1999. She was in that and Meet Joe Black. And
Oh, yeah. Man, you could just go to the theater once and watch Claire
a whole day.
Forlani
You could watch a
all
whole
year.
day of
Yeah.
Claire Forlani.
It was a shame the Forlanaissance ended so quickly.
Chuck now finds himself forlorny.
God damn it.
She's like, she's going to have a career? Oh, mall rats.
But then the next day I made the mistake. I was just like, well, let me complete the circle and go watch the movie tie-in music video for All-Star. And man, that just fucking made me hate Smash Mouth with an intense passion. Just like, in your head, not seeing those guys, you're like, yeah, all right, this is fine. And then like you fucking see those guys and you're like, man, fuck all of you. Just all of you, just fuck off and die. Just get out of here. Look at you dumb sons of bitches.
See, I remember Smash Mouth, so I don't know how Guy Fieri has managed to become popular.
Yeah. They
I
should
thought we learned our lesson back from fucking Smash Mouth back then.
You know, they should have just stayed away from movie soundtracks. I think we would feel differently about Smash Mouth these days.
It's
if
the only
they had
reason
just
they're still relevant.
Stayed away from movie soundtracks.
I don't know. I don't think we would.
Their first couple songs were good.
Yeah.
I like All Star, and
I like All-Star too. I
too
mean,
many other Smash Mouth songs to admit in public, but I guess I just have.
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Mystery Men.
Mystery Men. It's worth watching, but yeah. They filmed it on the Batman and Robin sets. So
Okay.
that's fun.
Interesting.
I seem to remember at the time it came out, like there was another movie called The Specials, which I think was
Yeah.
a James Gunn movie.
Yeah.
Like, right around the same time.
Yeah. I think
And-
I want to say Rob Lowe was in that.
Yeah.
But it's almost the same kind of premise.
Yeah, and people freaked out. They're like, well, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's
Who's
just
ripping off who here?
it's just so strange that like the core of Mystery Men are these three people who literally have no powers at all. And then they have this like recruitment drive because they've got to save the town from from Casanova Frankenstein, and they end up recruiting people who actually have powers, but they're all kind of like pissed off about it. Ben Stiller especially. He's just like, the people they bring in all do have special powers, and Ben Stiller's the whole time is just like, this guy sucks. We don't want him on the team. It's like, no, none of you have any powers whatsoever. William H. Macy's power is that he has a shovel. That's it.
He's the shoveler.
That's why
Yes.
he's the shoveler.
Yeah.
Hank Azaria throws forks and pretends he's British Indian.
The Blue Raja.
Yes.
I would like to correct you that from now on you must present her as the BMFcast's own Claire Florlani.
What?
Yeah, because she was in Beer for My
I was
Horses
about to say Beer for My
and
Horses.
Dungeon Siege in the Name of the King.
Oh, fuck. That's right.
Yeah, the Forlanaissance was not over. Bringing her back.
We were the biggest celebrators of Orlani. She made anything in the last, 10 years?
She was on an,
in the Name of the King,
yeah.
a Dungeon Siege.
That's not in the last 10 years.
She was on an NCIS for a little while.
Oh.
And, yeah, she's in some things.
Okay. Well, I just remember when she was, the thing. She was the female lead in movies, and you were like, oh, yes, okay, I'm on board with this. And then she went away, and it was very sad. So.
Oh, well.
She also has nothing to do in Mystery Men. She is just a waitress. So.
That was also a thing around 1999, where there was just the famous female actress who was just this thrown-in side character that did not affect the plot whatsoever.
Yeah. That's her in Mystery Men.
I think the problem is she used up all of her Hollywood time in Meet Joe Black.
It was a lot of time. They rolled a lot of footage in that
Yeah.
movie. I still love Meet Joe Black. Fuck the haters. That's it. I'm done.
All right. Guess we got nothing else, right?
Yeah. I'm plugging my way through some more Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm on season 3 now.
Ooh.
Trucking.
Moving right
It's
along.
a really good show. It's a really, really good show. I like it a lot.
Been trying to sing the praises of it for a while now.
Yep. I'm finally on board. 100%. I'm into
Okay.
it.
Well, good.
Well, I guess, how about some contact information then, if we got nothing else?
Dokey. BMFcast.com is the website. There are buttons on the right-hand side. Click them. They will take you to our various places, including our Discord. Come hang out with us and chit-chat. We would love to have you by. We have many things to talk about, from anime to other things.
I think
I was trying to A to
That's
Z.
fantastic.
do people actually talk about sports in the sports thing?
Occasionally, yeah. There's
Occasionally
some
there's
stuff
some
that happens
sports
in the
talking.
Sports Ball channel.
I
We
don't-
have
I don't
spoiler
know these.
zones for all your spoilery needs.
We make new ones whenever you ask.
We got video game talk. We got general talk. We got, like I said, anime talk. I
Yeah,
guess.
we already have a zone set up for E3 when it happens, so you can.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can spoil things that aren't out, but whatever.
Z3, I guess. But yeah, check it out. There's a button on the website. If you want to email us, bmf@bmfcast.com. If you want to call us, leave a message on the Garfield phone, 9105-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. And that's it. Give us go to patreon.com/bmfcast and give us some money.
Yeah, I concur with
and
that.
get things in return for it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
If you
that's-
want,
That's
but
how Patreon works.
whatever.
Pay
just,
for our bonus stuff.
just throw your fucking coin in the fountain.
Yeah. And also, if you're listening to this on Friday, Friday is the beginning of the I almost said
Southern
San Francisco.
Fried Gaming Expo.
Southern Fried Gaming Expo. I almost said San Francisco, but Southern Fried Gaming Expo in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Renaissance Waverly Hotel.
They have officially changed the name from Game Room to Gaming.
Yes.
Oh,
We are 3/4 of us will be up there representing no quarters, and
3/4.
Right, 3/4. We're in. So if you happen to be heading by there, please make sure to tweet us or hop in the Discord and say that you're there, and let us know, and we will come by and shower you with words and our presence. And then you can buy us a beer in person. For
yes,
all of
we
our hard
accept
work.
beer.
And also Hurricanes.
Right. Beer and or liquor.
Mm-hmm.
The itinerary for it is we will be there
Playing some motherfucking pinball.
from 4 to close Friday and from probably 10 to close Saturday.
We'll probably escape it for some food at some point.
Yeah.
Walk
First
over to
four.
Murph's.
I don't know about all that, Chuck.
Come on.
But yeah, we'll be over there. We'll be over there for a while. So let us know that you're there, and we can meet up and whip your ass in pinball.
Yeah.
Chuck will whip your ass in pinball.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The old third ball Chuck here.
Yeah. Chuck is a clutch pinballer.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Chuck the clutch. How about that? That's
Thank
better
you.
than third ball.
All
Chuck.
third ball over here. It makes no sense to anyone. Now they're going to think I have some Chernobyl disfigurement.
People know that
you
there are
do.
3 balls in pinball. Come on. Anyway.
Let's get out
That's
of
it,
here,
yeah.
shall we? Yes.
Yes.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out. We'll see you Friday.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, follow Chuck at Smarby Jerkface. He will be tweeting some pictures of what? If you want tweets from the expo, follow at Smarby Jerkface over here.
Yeah, he's always doing
the
photo
photos.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the snap, grin, grin, wink, wink. Say no more.
He done tweet them.
Some
Folks.
holiday photos. Maybe candid,
snaps.
candid perhaps.
Yep. Some
Yep. Yep. Not as good as a wink to a blind bat.
Yep.
Oh, you're wicked.
Man,
Yep.
I'm jealous.
Are you Smuckers?
Yeah.
Because you're
All
totes
smuckered
jelly.
out.
Because you're totes jelly.
It was Grand Lizard that's going to be there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will take
Man.
copious video of Grand Lizard.
Did
for
that
you.
one ever end up in Pinball Arcade?
Nope.
Let's plan a grand lizard
So
larceny.
it never will, because it's
Grand Lizard.
It's a Williams table,
So it's never going to show.
so it'll be in Pinball FX Williams collection.
Hopefully.
God, I hope so. I just want those. I want those to return somehow.
What you say?
Maybe there'll be an E3 announcement.
No. They don't
A
have
lot
the.
of weird shit gets announced at E3.
You think they have the money to be at E3? Electronic Third?
If some other studio is wanting to pimp
I don't think they're doing anything. They tweeted out today a link to basically an article talking about, hurry up and get it. Here's the best tables to get. Get these tables. I don't think they'd be promoting the fact that they're going away if they were.
Well, they want every bit of money they can get.
I suppose, yes. But I mean, I don't think they would be out there
Yeah.
talking up their own demise when they're.
Probably no one can say anything publicly until the tables are full. So.
Yeah.
No E3 announcement. But there's gonna be
E3
Rock Band
announcement. Yeah, sure there is.
All right, we're gonna end this here live streaming stuff. So
Go home because we're tired.
yeah,
All right. Good night. Thanks for
Good
joining
night.
us.
we're going home because you're tired.